Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to the race watch-along for the 2024 Las Vegas Grand Prix. How are we all doing this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are? Hey Annette, good to see you again. Good to see everyone in chat already. So ready for what could be a cracking race. I think we're in for a good one today. I just want to check something before we go any further though. Anybody else got Sky? If so, were Martin Brundle, Danica Patrick and Simon Lazenby just on their knees on a raft, or am I still asleep? That was very, very strange. Yes, we are 25 minutes away from lights out in Vegas. Lots to get through. First things first, your usual disclaimer, of course, when we get to the watch-along itself, there won't be any on-track race footage for what I believe, and many of you believe, is or are obvious copyright reasons. We'll have live timing from multi-viewer and all of that jazz as well with the track map, and I'll try and give you all the updates I can. This won't be some kind of terrible B-Tech commentary, but it will be a lot of updates is what we're going to go for, and lots of chat as well to keep everybody awake, essentially. But yeah, very much looking forward to this. Don't forget to drop a like as well, by the way, and subscribe if you are new. I'll do that a few times during the stream. We'll do some shout outs in a bit as well. So thank you to everyone who joined yesterday. And I think the last person on stream to join yesterday was Matt H. So thank you very much, Matt, for doing that. I'm just going to pop you out in a separate box chat so I can see you on another monitor a bit more clearly. Is Sean a morning or night person? I am very much a night owl, Lady Blah Blah. Good to see you again. Usually about 2 a.m. before I go to sleep, so it's been weird going to bed a bit early this weekend. I've struggled with that more than the getting up, to be honest, which has been weird. But anyway, yes, some good news is where we're going to start today, and that is that Franco Colapinto will start the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Now, yesterday post-session, Williams released a statement which said that during qualifying, Franco sustained a significant impact of over 50 G, wow, requiring a medical checkup. An impact of this magnitude is obviously significant and severe, and he will need to be evaluated again tomorrow. That's this morning for them, or last night, wherever we are, before we will know whether he is clear to race. Franco's health is all that matters, and we are glad he is otherwise okay. We will provide further updates when we can. That was followed this morning by a statement that effectively said that he was evaluated and it's all good. I'll try and find it. I did have the email ready for you, and then I went and closed my emails because that's just the way I operate. There you go. They said, where are we? He has undergone thorough follow-up evaluations from the event medical team today and has been cleared to race in this evening's Las Vegas Grand Prix. Franco's health is our main priority, and we are relieved that he is well enough to race following such a significant incident. We are extremely thankful to our incredible garage team for their hard work overnight to repair Franco's car, and our fans and partners for their continued support. We have taken the opportunity to make some setup changes during the repair, and as a result, Franco will start from the pit lane. So Colapinto will race today, but he's starting from the pit lane. So good news and bad news for him, really, there. So, but yeah, 50G, mass. I don't think I caught that yesterday when we were watching the watching quali. It looked hefty, particularly on board when he sort of up sideways, but I didn't realise it was quite as severe as that. So glad he's okay. Nasty accident. 50G is crazy anyway, isn't it? So I'm glad he's okay and he's fit to race. And we're going to get 20 cars out there today. Will we have 20 cars going through turn one? We'll find out in about half an hour, about less than half an hour from now. Yes, windy is the other big story today. It's Tom just points out in chat, it's very, very windy in Vegas. There was a warning, I think, but I don't know if it's at the Strip or that area or whether it's somewhere else. It's yeah, not raining though. No chance of rain by the look of it. Max says I need coffee. Yeah, don't blame you. Shout out to George for the streams at this time of the morning. Thank you very much, George. Good to see you. Hey to Tom as well. I forgot to say hey. Gasly Podium says, George, we'll do some predictions in a bit, but I'd love to see that one. Yeah, I think we've got a good race. I mean, you look at the grid. We'll run through that quickly. George Russell on pole position with Carlos Sainz joining him on the front row. Pierre Gasly. You know, Russell's lap yesterday, the call to be the last across the line, that was all bang on from George, and he deserves so much credit, but it's very difficult not to call Gasly, you know, driver of the day or lap of the day. I mean, what a performance that was. He's sort of said that was to do with an aggressive setup, which is why he's managed to do that. So if he can come away with a big haul of points today, Alpine are really, what a couple of weekends they'll have had with 2 still to go this season. Charles Leclerc, 4th. His goal, of course, is going to be clear Gasly as quickly as possible, but they've got quite a skinny rear wing on the Alpine, so he might be tough to pass. Again, we'll find out very, very soon. Max Verstappen 5th and Lando Norris 6th. We'll get to them in just a moment. Yuki Tsunoda 7th and Oscar Piastri in 8th with Hulkenberg 9th and Lewis Hamilton down in 10th, of course, made that mistake on his lap, which cost him quite a lot of time. time and ended up P10 in the end. Esteban Ocon 11th, Kevin Magnussen 12th, and Zhou Guanyu 13th. Liam Lawson is 14th with Sergio Perez 15th. Obviously, some of these promoted at one place due to Colapinto starting in the pits and Bottas getting a penalty. Alonso 6th, Albon's 16th. Alonso wishes he was 6th. Albon 17th, Stroll is 18th, Valtteri Bottas 19th, and Colapinto will start from the pit lane. Bottas, by the way, was penalised 5 positions for the use of additional power unit elements, which we knew yesterday. So, look, we've got the Colapinto story. What can he do from the pit lane? Great to see him out there. We've got what's going to happen at the front between Russell and Sainz, and can Leclerc clear Gasly? But as much as that should be the focus in a lot of ways, really the big story today is the championship. Can Max Verstappen wrap it up today, or is he going to have to wait until Qatar? There's been some confusion on the old Twitex, which isn't a great surprise, I know. Formula One tweeting yesterday that if the order stays as it is and Lando doesn't get fastest lap, then Max is world champion. Just to clear that up, that fastest lap is irrelevant if Max Verstappen is in front of Norris. Norris has got to outscore Verstappen by 3 points today to keep his hopes, there are no hopes, but to keep his hopes of a championship victory alive. It's not going to happen. Max is going to do it at some point, but the fastest lap is irrelevant unless Verstappen has it and Norris is a position ahead. So, for example, if, let's say, swap those positions. Norris finishes 5th, Verstappen is 6th. If Verstappen is 6th with fastest lap, Norris has either got to take that fastest lap or he's got to finish 4th. So it's that kind of situation. So, look, that's where we're at. Max Verstappen is going to win the World Championship. If not here, he'll do it in Qatar. If not Qatar, it will be Abu Dhabi. And Abu Dhabi could be a case of 24 points clear with 26 available or something like that. So he's got a shot at doing it today. It's going to be really interesting. I don't know, interesting one for chat here, and I'm not suggesting that anything like this is going to happen. But of the two of them, who's sort of in a nothing to lose situation? I kind of feel like both of them are in a way, because Lando isn't going to win the championship realistically, so he's kind of got nothing to lose. But Max Verstappen's got such a lead with 2 to go after this one that he's kind of got nothing to lose. So maybe we'll see a bit of argy-bargy into turn 1, which could be interesting. So, that's going to be a great scrap. That is where the focus is going to be for a lot of today. It's a bit frustrating because I think that the fight at the front could be fascinating. But hey, Verstappen and Norris could come through and surprise us. But that is the big topic of the day. Is Max Verstappen, I'll ask you in chat, yes or no, is Max Verstappen going to wrap up the title today, or are we going to be talking about Qatar? I still, he is ahead of Norris, and I'm just looking at that now. Piastri might come through, Hamilton could come through, that car is quick, but I'm not convinced, even if Verstappen finishes behind Norris, that he's going to be that far behind him. So I'm not even going to write him off for the win today. You know what he can do. Really nice piece, actually, from Martin Brundle, if you're watching Sky, pre-race, obviously pre-race, a few moments ago, about Verstappen and where he might be in the list of all-time greats. And he kind of made the point that it's too soon to call him the greatest of all time. And I always will say, I will not rank a current driver in the list of all-time greats until they've retired and we know what their entire legacy is. That I've always held that point. I don't know why. It's just a feeling I have. I think there's, Verstappen, 4-time world champion, could now go and have 5 horrific years in Formula One. Does that affect that ranking? So it's too early to be doing that, but it was a really nice piece, actually, and sort of comparing him to some of the traits that we saw in Senna and Schumacher in the early years. So Sky do some good pieces like that, to be fair. So Martin Brundle, big Verstappen fan, I think. He's not really hidden that, has he? So basically chat saying yes, he will. Says, I just want Max to win championship in a race that has no controversy. Absolutely agree. I sort of agree with the point as well yesterday made that although you wrap it up where you wrap it up and it's about the season and not one race, it would be a bit of a shame if Verstappen finishes 7th and Norris is 8th, and that's what decides the title. You want to see them up there, don't you, fighting? So, but I suppose if they scrap it out, race long battle, and Max comes out on top, then that's still exciting. So, pretty much everyone's saying yes. Now the pressure is off. I think Lando looks happier. Hopefully he'll stop beating himself up over everything, says Fudge. Yeah, something that he needs to iron out, I think, is there's nothing wrong with showing that emotion, that self-doubt and whatnot, is there? I mean, that's, in some ways it's good to see. Oh, God. Sorry, I just looked at the TV. Yeah, it's Vegas, Sean. I assume it's the national anthem, but it all looks, even that looks cheesy somehow without even listening to it. So yeah, it's there's nothing wrong with, but self-doubt. There's nothing wrong with being hypercritical of yourself, but you don't hear that from a Verstappen. You never really heard that from a Schumacher, or you could be down on your performance or disappointed at the way you drove, or annoyed at your car, or annoyed at an incident. But Lando is very much, isn't he? He's very sort of, oh, that was terrible, I shouldn't have done that, or I should have done this. And I think that's something that will come with time. You've got to remember as well, he's not really been in the championship fight this year. There was a point, I think I said it in Brazil maybe the week before, but there was a point where I started to wonder if this was going to become a championship fight. But for very much all season I've been saying no, but a lot of people think this has been a championship fight, so this has been his first one, let's put it that way. He may be involved in many more, he may not, we'll find out, but that's something that he'll get used to. And people will around him, I'm sure, will be like, just don't be so down on yourself. But part of me likes it, but I get he is quite a whiner as well, but we Brits do like a whinge, to be fair, so maybe that's just, we're all a bit like that. I don't know, we all like a moan. There's Yuki Tsunoda talking to Simon Lazenby, should be in the Red Bull next year with any luck. We'll see what happens there. Just very quickly as well on strategy for today, and then we'll do a very brief Q&A before we get into the race, because obviously I'll be finishing the stream pretty much immediately after the race finishes, because I need to get the reaction ready and go and check that Stuart's awake. So so what we got going on? So the strategy today is one stopper, but it could very easily turn into a two, because there are a few question marks over things like, we've not really, hardly anyone's run the hard tyres this weekend, and those who haven't really run them in anger. So there was a lot of sort of, working them in effectively, doing a lap or two on them and then pitting, and then I think curing it. I think that's what Aston Martin do, don't they? They cure tyres like that. So there was a bit of that, but nobody's really run them this weekend, and so we don't have any data, so it could easily turn into a two-stopper. You've also got to consider the safety car as well. A safety car around a pit window, or if there's a gap back to a driver, or you think you've got the pace to overtake them, that can easily turn the race into a two-stopper. But the fastest strategy apparently is a one-stopper. So start on the mediums, in on around lap 14 to 20, and then run to the end on the hard tyre. The other option is to start on the hards, to kind of flip it around really, lap 28 to 34 for a stop, and then run to the end on the mediums. And then you two stoppers, medium to hard to hard again, or soft to hard again. I'd be surprised if we see too many soft runners today. Maybe towards the end, Sergio Perez put out there to go and steal the fastest lap from Lando or something. But yeah, it's going to be a really fascinating day, and I kind of hope we get a mix of one and two stop strategies, because I think that gives us kind of the best races sometimes, especially if you're sort of on the fringes of a two stop or even more than that. We'll see, but it's not really wear that's the issue today. We talked about this yesterday. It's graining and keeping the temperatures in the tyres, which obviously is going to impact graining as well. So that's the big talking point today rather than anything else. So I just want to check something very, very quickly. I've just spotted something out the corner of my eye on the stream. No, that's all fine. I've got two Constructors Championships in there, that's why. And two Drivers Championships. Let's take those out, Sean. Sorry, I've just noticed which one's the Constructors one that we want. One has got... do you know what? I don't even know. Let's have a look. I don't know why I've done that. Just me being an absolute moron. Obviously this morning, but there we go. I'll take you out. I don't know why we've got to. I think it's because I changed George Russell's pole stats yesterday. So that's what's thrown me off. There we go. That should be better. I don't think anyone noticed. I don't think anyone really cares. But there you go. That's that solved for you. So we are just a few minutes away from quali. But yeah, the strategy today, not quali, the race. The strategy today, one stop probably. Let's hope for some twos, because that could mix things up. Questions in chat then. We've got best part of 10 minutes, haven't we, really, before we need to be heading over to the screen and whatnot. So any questions, let's see what you've got, and I'll see if I can give you some answers today, bearing in mind it is 10 to 6 in the morning and I've been up since 3:30, so the answer may not be any good, but there you go. Yeah, was it good, Charles? Or was it one of those, this is quite the performance for the national anthem? I don't know, but I didn't have the headphones on, so I will have to turn those down now. I can hear them from here. That kind of thing will come off on stream. Also, very quickly, randomly yesterday, sorry, sort of aside, I got is it DMCA takedown on Twitter yesterday for sharing the link to my stream because somebody had the exclusive rights to broadcast the race in America, and I was like, guys, I'm not streaming the race. So I sent a bit of a snotty email, which is probably not the way to go. Probably should have stayed professional, but also do one. I shared a link to a stream where I just sit and talk and show you some timing, for goodness sake. Very weird world. Very weird world. Such is life, I suppose. Just going to check. I haven't had another one for today's one. Not by the look of it. So there you go. Although, weirdly, I have had an email for T-Mobile. Somebody mentioned yesterday they disappeared in the UK, so I don't know what that's about. Probably a scam. What do you think about the gap between Verstappen and Perez? Says Rocket P-Bird. Let's have a think. Where's my stats? 134.1 yesterday versus 132.7, knocked out in Q1. I believe the sixth time, by the way, this season, Perez has been knocked out in Q1, which was a stat that both surprised me but didn't surprise me when I heard it. I sort of thought that seems a lot, and then I thought, well, no, probably about right. Look, the gap is too big. I know it's Max Verstappen. Comparing the two is crackers, but the gap shouldn't be that big, and I don't care. Somebody kind of made the point in the comments yesterday in the quali watch after it went as a VOD. It doesn't matter how bad that car is to drive. He shouldn't be down in 16th place in qualifying. He just shouldn't be, and it doesn't feel either like he's at the point of ever turning this around. He had his rough time last year, didn't he? But he sort of started to find form again, and then the start of this season, he was really good at the start of this season, and sort of looked as though he'd got himself back on form. But since sort of post China, he's been, for the most part, dreadful. And it's incredible that he's had a contract extension and honestly is still in that car. I think what keeps him in that car is the fact it's A, going to cost them a fortune to get rid of him, and B, they're going to lose the sponsorship as well. So it's kind of a double whammy. But I like Checo a lot. I've defended him a lot, but it's just I'm sort of lost for words now on what to say about it. I'd be very surprised if he's in that car next year. But at the same time, there doesn't seem to be a nailed-on alternative. Tsunoda, for me, I feel has earned the opportunity. Whether or not they're interested, Marco seems to be. Horner doesn't seem to be. I'm a big fan of Liam Lawson, but I'm not convinced throwing him into that Red Bull next year is the right way to go. That reeks of Gasly and Albon again, and being a little bit too soon, and maybe throwing him at the deep end a bit much. And then Colapinto, apparently, the interest has cooled from Red Bull now. That doesn't mean he won't be in a V-carb next year or whatever they're going to be called, but it looks as though the hope of a Red Bull seat has gone for multiple reasons. Probably the crashing isn't helping, but also the cost of booting Checo out and then having to buy Colapinto out of his Williams contract. So it looks like it is going to be Perez, Lawson or Tsunoda, which is kind of what we expected anyway. And then maybe Colapinto ends up at V-carb. I don't know, but lower the price a bit on that one. But I do find it fascinating that, Colapinto is massively linked to the Red Bull seat and then has a few crashes and suddenly they're not interested anymore. And I sort of touched on this yesterday, but it a little bit weird the last couple of years at sort of the Red Bull teams that they're so quick to decide a driver is ready for one of their cars, but then they sort of change that on a race-by-race basis almost. Look at De Vries, for example. Great performance in Monza for Williams. Suddenly finds himself in an AlphaTauri the next year. And then Colapinto, really good start to his time at Williams. And yes, definitely we want him. Or maybe he's an opportunity. Let's go talk to Williams. And then he has a few crashes and suddenly, actually, no, we're not interested. You think, I feel like they're a little bit lost, Red Bull. I feel like they're not really sure what to do. And they need to, we said this last week, we'll say it again in the race reaction. I think Stuart wants to make the point as well. They need to start thinking about post Max Verstappen because he could go at the end of this season. I don't think he will, but he could. He could take a sabbatical. He could decide that he's done with Formula One in a couple of years' time. And, Red Bull, yes, they were caught off guard by Ricciardo's decision, but they never really prepared for his exit. And look at the mess they got themselves into. So I kind of think they need to start thinking longer term than just who can fill that seat. So maybe Piastri for the future. I don't know, but it's still baffles me that Carlos Sainz was never an option. I understand there was a bit of animosity, if we want to use that word, between the two dads and at the team at Toro Rosso when they were teammates, Verstappen and Sainz, but that was a long time ago. A lot's changed since then. So yeah, I think Sainz was the easy answer there, and he was free. He wasn't going to cost them anything. They could have got rid of Perez, but weird. And I like Checo, and I hope he finds form, but also a lot of people say, 2 more races, or he's got today and then 2 more races to show what he can do. Even if he finishes on the podium today, Qatar and Abu Dhabi, is that enough? Given that apart from the sort of opening 4 races, he's been kind of nowhere for the rest of the season. I don't think 2 or 3 good performances is enough, but hey, we'll see what they decide to do. Red Bull have baffled me before on driver choices, so we'll see what happens there. Let's start getting the watch-along ready. That was a very long way of saying it's not good enough, is it? So Jake says, I'm stoked for this race. Hey, Jake, hope you are well. Very much looking forward to this myself. I'm going to read your comments whilst I'm trying to set up multi-view. What have I just typed and where have I typed it? There we go. Colapinto has some very big crashes, and in the cost cap era, those are a major liability. Very true, Darth Tretton, is it? Very, very true. Do you think Horner has power to do anything without Helmut Marko? Honestly, I don't know. Some weeks it looks like it's a joint effort, and then other weeks I feel like they're sort of pulling against each other a little bit. I don't know. I can't work out I still think there's a bit of a power struggle within Red Bull itself. And I don't just mean on the team side, I mean everywhere pretty much. So do we need the championship table prediction open? I don't think we do we? We can work that out on the fly. We'll do maths, or if you're elsewhere, math. It's maths, but let's not get into that. I'll probably have to use a qualifying one instead of that because that's too big. But anyway, I'll talk to myself, which I guess is sort of what I'm doing anyway, generally speaking. Also, again, if you are tuning in for the first time over at planetf1.com, thank you very much for your company. Please do head over to the YouTube channel and drop a sub and a like on the screen. That'd be massively appreciated. Predictions then. The music has kicked in. I'm going to try and have as much information as I can, but I can't promise anything here. Predictions. Who have you got for the win? One surname. I'm going to go with Carlos Sainz. I said it yesterday. I'll stick with it today. I'm going with Sainz, and I think that's, Ferrari kind of need this one. They need this one. Because this is the track. This is the race of this is their best race of the final 3, basically. So a 1-2 today with McLaren and Red Bull struggling a little bit. Could really swing the championship. Me and Stuart were saying yesterday we thought it'd be quite funny if Ferrari won the constructors and Verstappen won the drivers and McLaren came away with nothing after being favourites at times. Yes, let's head over to watch on screen. I don't think this is going to work first time. I need to stop the self-doubt. Look at that. Almost perfect. Almost perfect. Let's slide that along here. It's a bit too big, I think, there. Just resize that slightly. Live timing, of course, provided by Multiviewer for F1. Thank you so much to those guys, as always, really, for allowing me to use that in these streams. Really appreciated. Great stuff from them. Definitely go check them out. Link in the description. Not sponsored, but they deserve a shout out for letting me use the live timing. It is free as an app, but you will need an F1 TV access or an F1 TV Pro subscription if you want to use sort of get the best out of it, but it's a brilliant piece of kit, I suppose, bit of software, so definitely check it out. Thank you to those guys. Please do drop a like on the stream before we get going today, and please do subscribe as well if you are new. Lots coming up. I'll do my best to keep you updated. It's been a long time since I've done one of these race watch alongs, so I'll do my best, but this isn't going to be commentary, like I say, and of course no on-track footage, because, and I'll do it for those who wanted to see it yesterday, because it's against the law, son. I'm just such a punt. It's as simple as that. There you go. So the answer's obvious. I don't know why I have to explain it all the time. It seems obvious to me. Very quickly, just go quiet for just about 2 seconds while I just position my mic properly. I like to be able to see what's going on. F1 fan first and foremost, of course. So I'm going to have to refresh the stream again. Why is it so far behind? It's whenever I open another app or switch browser windows for a second, it just sort of goes, I'll wait for you. And it's like, no, you can keep going. It's fine. Thank you for waiting. There was a poll as well. Thank you to everyone who's voted on that one. Just asking for which team you think will win, because it's difficult. You can only have 4 options, so I can't get every single driver in there. So I've picked the top 4 teams in the standings. I didn't put Alpine in, I probably should have done, but 32% say Mercedes, 39% say Ferrari, 21% say Red Bull, and 8% McLaren. I'll close that now, but we are ready to go. Interestingly enough, in terms of tyres, Fernando Alonso is starting on the softs down in 16th place, so keep an eye on him. It is mediums for everybody else, though, apart from Sergio Perez in 15th on the hard tyre. Valtteri Bottas 19th on the hard, and Franco Colapinto in the pit lane also on the hard tyre. So some interesting tyre choices there, but predominantly mediums. Russell on used mediums, but only one lap on those tyres. Used mediums as well for Zhou, also one lap, and Stroll as well, one lap on his medium tyres. So they are used, but they're not really used. A bit of curing, like I say, going on. It was punful. Dad joke, yeah, very much a dad joke. I agree. Everyone loves the upside down pig. Jake says Sainz for the win. Pete said Sainz. George says Max will win. Pascal says Sainz and hopefully a point for Sauber. Zhou's got a shot from 13th. It's going to be tough though, isn't it? But we'll see what he can do. Fud says Verstappen. My gut says Hamilton somehow pulls it off, but my brain says Max. BX Gunnar says Sainz, Lando, and Gasly for the top three, and of course Charles and Flaming Tornado saying Stoffer Van Dorn. Thank you so much for making sure he gets a shout. Cameron says morning, Sean. Been sub for a long time since 2017, I think. Or all of the more recently retired drivers, who would you most want to see make a comeback? What on a formation like that? I think Seb Vettel. I think. Honestly, and that's might be a bit of a boring answer, but I wouldn't mind seeing him back. Oh, I think Rosberg coming back would be quite fun. I don't worry about syncing. What I'll do is I will count the lights as they come on, so you can sync your stream to it. That's the best I can do. But they are just for me coming round. They're coming to turn 13 now on the strip, so I'll count the lights down is the way to do it. It's the only way I can do it, and then you can try and sync up from there. Obviously, yes, Rosberg the YouTuber, yeah, that guy. Rocket Peebo says Verstappen, Leclerc, and Perez as a top three. Hakkinen return from Sebastian. I'd love Mika Hakkinen. He is on my list of. Sorry if I keep making noise, but I'm trying to reposition the mic properly. It's the boom arm's a bit sticky. I think Mika Hakkinen is on my list of underrated champions. Really do. Oh, Del, don't do this to me. Del says Rosberg isn't so recently retired anymore. Please don't. But it was yesterday. What are you on about? It was yesterday. Yeah, Max is quite slow out there. Actually, good point, Duke. But you know, Russell's going to bunch things up. They're coming through turn 17 now. Toto Wolff will be very excited for this, I'm sure. Pastor Maldonado returns, says George. That'd be good. Using the trap map to sync, actually. Yeah, good point, actually. Using the trap map might be a good idea. That should be pretty good. But yeah, I will count the lights anyway. And I'll try and keep up, but don't expect B-Tech Crofty. You're more likely to get a bit of chat about the first lap, and then we'll settle in and talk nonsense as we go. As I've always said, just think about watch-alongs if you're new as sat in a pub with your friends or in your living room watching a race and we're talking about it. This isn't an alternative commentary, but I will give you updates. And even if I don't give you updates, it's all on the screen anyway with the track map and the data as well there. So I've not done one of these for so long. 50 lap race, of course, 2-hour window inside of a 3-hour window. So, are you at least dressed as Elvis Crofty? Yes, I am. I am dressed as Elvis Crofty. Here we go then. I've got to try. I'm gonna this. You know, we criticise Crofty a lot for getting things wrong. Brace yourself, peeps. This could be fun. Russell, I think actually Sainz pointing slightly towards Russell, so maybe they'll have a bit of drama into turn one, but the inside not a bad place to be. Will Sainz do to Russell what Verstappen did to Leclerc last year at the start? Here we go then. Deep breath. I still get butterflies after 30 years. 1 light, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And we're going Vegas. It's a good start for Russell. He's got away in the lead. Sainz has got a decent start. Gasly got a good start as well to the outside of Sainz. But Russell does lead into turn one. Oh, Carlos Sainz and Gasly need touch. And Leclerc moves into third. And Verstappen and Norris are side by side. Verstappen just staying ahead of the McLaren. But Leclerc is up into second place. What a start for Charles Leclerc. Perfect for Ferrari in a lot of ways. Not so much for Carlos Sainz, but they have got clear of Gasly. That was key for them at the start. We've got some squabbling at the back. Piastri fighting with Tsunoda and Hulkenberg, told you to get something wrong straight away, and Piastri's been passed by Tsunoda, or no, not passed by Tsunoda, trying to get past Tsunoda, and Tsunoda just fending him off. So Hulkenberg having a look at Piastri as well here, but a good start for Russell to lead away with the two Ferraris behind. Then we've got Gasly, Verstappen, Norris, Tsunoda, Piastri, Hulkenberg, Hamilton. We've got a car off in the background there, just cutting the corner, nothing too dramatic, and no yellow flag. So all good. As we go through this first lap, Russell got to break that DRS. 7/10 clear at the moment as they come flying through turn 10, 11, 12 and onto the strip. We've got a side-by-side here. Tsunoda, not Tsunoda, I told you to get it wrong. Lawson and Magnussen battling it out. I'm waiting for all the stuff to appear on the screen, so I have to look at 3 screens at once here. Ferrari, this is what they needed. Russell as well. Verstappen now all over Gasly, so he could do with clearing him quicker, get a car between himself and Norris, who was actually falling back a little bit on Verstappen. They were side by side. Looking forward to that replay into the first corner, but as they come through into turn 14, already looks pretty settled out there, but still close. That is Perez and Alonso battling into 14. Perez trying around the outside, or hanging on around the outside of Alonso. And Lawson and Magnussen, banging wheels, I think, through there. Where Colapinto had his crash yesterday. That is getting feisty, and that was a really great fight. And Magnussen right up Lawson's backside as they come flying into 17. This is quite the scrap. Perez is behind a Williams here, Alex Albon, so he's lost places, but he has a look up the inside and makes the move into turn 1 to take P16. So he's down 1 place now, Perez, but that's not great for Checo. Needed to be making places, not losing them, but he's on the hard tyre, so a bit less grip off the line. We're watching Verstappen take on Gasly here, but what a start for Charles Leclerc, P2. Oh, there you go. I did the best I could to call the first lap there for you. A couple of mistakes in there, but bear with me here. You know, it's all good fun. Lap 2 then. Really, for Verstappen, he needs to clear Gasly as quick as possible, doesn't he? He's got Norris behind him, but this is going to be a good fight, I think. Norris just starting to close up on Verstappen a bit more now, maybe just taking it easy on that first lap. He has to pass Verstappen today. It's as simple as that. You know, it is very dusty. Good spot, George. Very dusty track out. It's been dusty all weekend, actually, to be fair. So maybe offline might be tricky today with passing. I want to see, so I definitely need replays of Verstappen and Norris side by side. I need replays of Leclerc's start, and we need replays as well of whatever was going on between Lawson and Magnussen. That looked really, really feisty. So Verstappen has got DRS on Gasly, but he's not going to get through there. But like I say, Gasly will also have DRS, I think, on the car ahead. No, yeah, he will. He'll have DRS as well, so that's why. But actually, quite a slippery car, that Alpine, this weekend. So Verstappen is still behind him as they come through turn 17. That's a brilliant corner. It's so simple in a lot of ways, but it's such a good corner. But yeah, true. The marbles as well is a good point made there. Maybe less mentioning and sugarcoating of any mistakes and just get on with it. Key is not to bring attention to what is not beneficial, says Freedom Fighter. Excellent. Turn 8 incident involving cars 24, that's Joe, and Lawson 30 has been noted, leaving the track and gaining an advantage. That might have been who was off track then, Liam Lawson or Zhou Guanyu. We did spot somebody in the background cutting the corner, but on lap 3, it's been an interesting start so far. Leclerc really the star of the start. Alonso made 2 places as well. Magnussen dropped 3. Perez overall dropped 1, but did initially drop 2, of course. So he's back up to 16th place. But Perez in it for the long haul here, definitely. Thank you, Freedom Fighter. I wasn't sure that. I was kind of like, yeah. I was trying to watch the race and then read that at the same time, and my brain didn't compute the two, so I appreciate that. This is my honourable mention for all the people who work on the FM feed and bring us the coverage. They get a bad rep and are not perfect, but mostly are absolutely A-class. Best in the business, says Max. I can think of a few that might disagree with you there, but they get it right a lot and they get it wrong a lot, but obviously in this day and age it's the negativity, isn't it, that sells. It's Charles Leclerc, by the way, right on the back of George Russell now, with DRS as well. Verstappen still can't clear Gasly. Gasly's still got a bit of DRS helping. No, he hasn't. So there you go. Also, cars Lawson and Magnussen have been noted for an incident at turn 14. I'm assuming that's what we were talking about, the potential wheel banging through there. So this is the scrap now. We have got a fight for leaders. Leclerc that's the fastest lap with a 1:38.329. So here we go. Is this the moment for Ferrari? Leclerc needs to get this done if he's going to do it. As I said at the start of this, Ferrari really could do with a mega result here and hope that Verstappen, Norris and Piastri and, maybe Perez, don't come through and score too many points, because that could really spice up these final 2 races after this one in the Constructors' Championship. No further investigation for Zhou and Lawson at turn 8 for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Hopefully, I want to see the onboards of Magnussen and Lawson. Something was going on there which looked terrifying and brilliant all at the same time. So 2 very feisty drivers there. Leclerc just dropping back a little bit this lap, 8/10 back, but he's still within DRS. Needs to keep himself in there, of course, as they come through the detection point, which is just after turn 13, so a little way to go yet. Pete says, drive the day predictions for Verstappen as he will be world champion today. There you go. Del says, like the stupid rule of always showing the leader crossing the finish line, even if there are important battles going on, says Del. Yeah, I get why they've got to call that over the line. We'll just see this through, Dal, actually, because I think we've got Verstappen and we've got Gasly, but we've got Leclerc closing it. Max is celebrating the TV director. We've got Leclerc and Russell side by side at the front. We're watching Verstappen pass Gasly. Leclerc had a look down the outside, couldn't quite get it done. George Russell defending well there, but Leclerc is rapid and Verstappen has passed Pierre Gasly. In fact, Leclerc may not need DRS here. He's going to go for it on Russell on the run to turn 1. They're side by side almost through turn 17. That's ballsy. Leclerc is staying on the outside here. George Russell defending the inside line. They are side by side. Russell just going to squeeze him out a little bit on the exit. This is a great fight as they come through turn 3. Leclerc is determined to get this move done, but I didn't expect them to almost go side by side through turn 17. That was brown trouser time. Box for Fernando Alonso. What's going on? Blimey, indeed, Nick. Has Alonso got a problem here? Will he get going again? Soft tyre, isn't he? Yeah, sorry, no, ignore me. Soft tyre. He is going back out again, so they've changed him onto a new set of tyres. I will let you know when he exits the pits what they've put him on. I'm going to guess hards. Is going to be my guess there. Piastri's been noted for a false start. That battle has put Leclerc back towards Sainz, actually, and lost the DRS on Russell, so that cost him a bit of time, but that was a really fight. Maybe use his battery up there to try and get that move done. But I'd like to see the replay of Piastri, but it will be a penalty if that's a false start. Oh, I'll say that. Lando Norris's Schrodinger's jump start was almost definitely a jump start. In fact, it was a jump start, but the transponder didn't go off, did it? So that never came to anything. Norris jumpstart. Jumpstart Norris, as Russell put it. So no replays of the start yet, which is nice. We're actually getting to watch this action, but yeah, I do love the, Max is maybe shut my mouth. I was gonna say I do love the irony of Max sort of talking about how great the race direction is and how tough it is, and then we're watching Verstappen versus Gasly where we've got the leaders side by side. So quite enjoyed that moment, Max. I'm not gonna lie. Nothing on Verstappen on Alonso's tyres at the moment. Still a question mark on the official timing. And here we go for the race start then. So both drivers, so the front 2 got away well, but Leclerc got a bit of a tell off his teammate. Gasly so Sainz is too busy trying to fend off Gasly, and then Leclerc sort of slips up the inside of Sainz through turn 2 and then sort of ran the outside of turn 3, which was a nice little move. So Sainz sort of preoccupied a bit with Gasly there, I suppose, is a way to look at it. But Ferrari won't care too much because they are still second and third, and that was the key. Make sure both cars are ahead of Gasly as quickly as possible. And Leclerc got Gasly up the inside into turn 1. Yeah, just very wide for Sainz, sort of defending from Gasly, keep him behind, and then Leclerc sort of goes, cheers, mate, I shall slip through there, and off we go. But Sainz is now back on the back of Leclerc. Here we go, Verstappen versus Norris, I want to see. So Verstappen got a decent start, actually, a really good start. It was alongside Leclerc into turn 1, but then kind of nowhere to go with Gasly ahead fighting Sainz, and then we've got Norris and Verstappen. It looked more dramatic than that, I'll be honest, at the start, sort of side by side, but not quite through that first couple of corners, so that was good. We're watching Lewis Hamilton, watching a rear camera of Lewis Hamilton, so this will be an interesting one. Just so you know what's actually happening. That's Lawson sending up the inside of Magnussen. That was tight into turn 1. 3 wide, actually, through there with the Aston Martin as well. Does Lawson hang it around the outside here? So here's what happened between Magnussen and Lawson. I hate they cut away when watching a replay like that. So Magnussen goes to the outside of 14. Oh, they do. There is contact there. Quite a big bump as well. 2 bumps. Magnussen saying Lawson moving in a straight line, but I'm not totally sure on that myself. And then Magnussen nearly into the back of him on the straight for some reason. So that was a bit feisty. George Russell's got some stuff hanging off his car as well. Looks like paper or plastic. But no, keep an eye on that one. He's still all right for pace, though. He's 1.6 clear at the front. So, yeah. John Jones says they changed the rules now so they can use their eyes to see if it's a false start. Thank you, John, for clarifying that. Also, how F1 is that comment? They changed the rules now so they can use their eyes to see if it's a false start. Something we all used at the time and saw it was a false start, but never mind. Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you, John. That made me smile. Alonso's on the hard tyre, as expected. So, yeah, we'll see what he can do from there. He'll run very long now, possibly to the end. Might be a bit of a push to the end there, but yeah. Charles could use his tyres. That's a good point. Also, you've got batteries. He's probably used his batteries up to try and get through. Hasn't worked out, and that might be a factor as well. As it stands, by the way, Max Verstappen will be crowned world champion today as Lewis Hamilton goes for it on Oscar Piastri. These two were side by side at points last year, weren't they, in the race? It ended in contact for both drivers. So they are. Where are they on the track? On the run down to turn 14. Hamilton on the outside, Piastri on the inside. Will Piastri keep it in there like he did last year? He will indeed. Just hangs on there, but Hamilton having to go for P8 there. Didn't get it to stick, but he might get the toe like Leclerc did down to turn 1 on Russell. What can Hamilton? Can he make the move? Will he go for it around the outside of 17? I'd love to see him move around the outside of 17, but he had a look and it kind of cost him a bit of time there. Didn't get it done, so maybe wait for the DRS zones. We've got 2 on this track, of course, between 4 and 5, and then after turn 13 and down to turn 14. So this is a good fight. Piastri versus Hamilton, round 2 in Vegas, I suppose, after last year. Verstappen has pulled away from Gasly. Norris hasn't got past Gasly yet. Interestingly enough, by the way, is Hamilton going for it into 5? He's having a look. Is he going to go for it? Nope, not quite. Tsunoda actually still within DRS of Norris. Yeah. Sainz is ahead of Leclerc. Thank you to Not From 63rd, who actually, I didn't spot that on the timing screens. Max, and your TV direction, shut up, mate. Max Claydon, you are wrong. We're gonna call you out on that one today, Max, my friend. Sainz has passed Leclerc for P2. We've not seen the move. Whether there was some team orders there, I don't know. Leclerc's dropping backwards here because Verstappen is now right in the back. Has Leclerc got a problem or has he used his tyres? Because Verstappen is right on the back of Leclerc now and I think is probably, in fact, he is going to slip through. He's got DRS. That Red Bull is not great in a straight line, is it? Even with all that shaving of the rear wing they did. But Verstappen is now up into 3rd place. Was it on picture-in-picture? Oh, I must have missed that there, but I still feel we should have seen that. With respect to Hamilton and Piastri, 2nd is more important than 8th and 9th. But I'll let you off, Max. You get off with a warning, mate. I'll let you off with that one. But yeah, Charlie's going backwards here. Gasly and Norris fighting it out. We've missed the pass there as well. Norris has got through, but Gasly weaving all over the place there. So I don't know if there was close to contact. As Tsunoda has a little look around the outside of Gasly. Hamilton down the back of this pack that is led by Norris now. So Norris needs to get a move on. What is Hamilton going to do behind Tsunoda? All this DRS. Really? Tsunoda just going a bit defensive there or feeling the need to. So Leclerc 2 seconds now for Verstappen. So there's something going on because Russell 138.3, Sainz 139.5, Verstappen 139 flat, 141.8 for Leclerc. 1.3 seconds slower than Norris behind, who overtook somebody. So something's going on with Leclerc. Sorry, the stream was buffering now. I got a bit worried we were getting in trouble there. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Here goes Hamilton on the back of Tsunoda now in the battle for P7. The pace is in that Mercedes. Russell's kind of gone now up front. 5.3 seconds clear. He's got himself a bit of a cushion. So the undercut isn't really going to be a thing here. But, 5 seconds is always nice. Leclerc told to box. Either his tyres have gone or he's in big trouble. I can't get the... I could have the radio transcripts open, but I don't want to see the timing screen. So I could do it with another monitor if we're going to start doing these watch-alongs permanently. I'll have to get a 4th one because 3 ain't enough. We're still... Hamilton's just passed Tsunoda and is now right on the back of Gasly straight away. Norris boxing as well. We've got some early pit stops here. Are these scheduled stops? So Leclerc and Norris both pit. Leclerc's going for a fresh set of hard tyres. They look scheduled. Maybe this could be a 2-stop race. That's very early, or feels early. Lots of people pitting. So let me just check something. I'm hoping this won't... I can't open that. Can I have to close it? Yeah, I can't open it. But yeah, that's interesting. By the way, Verstappen, race pace, seems pretty good. He's on the back of Sainz now, 6/10 behind. So Verstappen looking very good here for a very good result. In fact, it must be the tyres. I can't hear commentary because I'm obviously talking and I can't go quiet for 10 minutes to have a listen to what they're saying. But, Sainz close to the wall and inside there. How you need to do it on a street track. But this is, yeah, and Sainz is going to pit as well. So is it just tyres? Piastri has a penalty. I'm guessing 5. It is a 5-second tyre penalty for Oscar Piastri, which is a bad news for McLaren. And Verstappen's going to get Sainz. Before we even get to the DRS, he's alongside him. Now the DRS is open. He's on the outside on the run to turn 14. Sainz, I assume, will tuck in because he's pitting anyway. He does indeed. And Verstappen moves into second place. Hamilton's going to get Gasly as well, watching the picture-in-picture now. He moves into 4th place. Piastri's going to pit as well. He's got a 5-second time penalty to serve. That's actually pretty good timing for Piastri, that penalty, actually. If they'd have waited another lap or two, maybe it would have been different. But early stops here, much earlier than expected. What do we think, chat? Checo passed Lawson, apparently. He's up to 11th place, is Sergio Perez. He'll run very long here. But I'm wondering if we're 2 stops here. Actually, I'm going to rephrase that. I hope we're 2 stops, as Gasly, Tsunoda and Piastri all do pit with Sainz. Because if this is a 1-stop race and they're all pitting on lap 11, we could have quite a way to go if things settle down. Piastri 5 seconds. Nobody touching the car. You're allowed to put the fans on the car, so that's okay. Off come the tyres. On go some fresh hards. So a long stop for Piastri because of that penalty. Came in at 8.9. So 3.9 second pit stop. We'll watch a replay of the false starts. Is he beyond the line? Is that what we're looking at here? So he was beyond his yellow line. Only just beyond his yellow line. So... 5 margins, but it all matters. So a 5-second penalty served by Piastri. That puts him 18th place in the end. So, yes, Stroll is 20th at the moment, by the way. Medium, hard, medium, says George. It's got to be 2 stops with them stopping this early, says Jake. If they pit this early, could be 3 stops, says Del. Question mark. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? That would be great. It just seems really early for stops. Obviously, again, I've not got the comms and things, but Verstappen being told to box. The overcut is... like, we're going to find out now, aren't we? But I feel like the overcut is the way to go today because the tyre warm-up, track temperature, I mean, it's not bad today, actually, 17.6, air is 17.8. But was it a slow stop for Gasly as well? I missed that. But yeah, no, the tyre warm-up will be tough today. So the undercut doesn't always work in the cooler conditions. So overcut could be the way to go. I'll find out Verstappen now. I mean, he was ahead of Sainz anyway. But Russell just cruising along. Nice Sunday morning or Sunday evening drive for him. Good stop for the Red Bull there. Verstappen onto the hard tyre. What was the time on that? Are we going to get a time on that? Maybe. Maybe not. 2 seconds on the nose. There you go. So he is going to be, that's going to be close with this gaggle of cars. He wants to be ahead of that Haas ideally, but he's not going to be. And in fact, the Sauber's going to slip through as well. So he is ahead of Sainz still, is Max Verstappen. Norris is a 137.795. So his tyres have come in quite nicely there. But Verstappen rejoins ahead of Albon and just behind Valtteri Bottas, who, by the way, is up in 6th place. So Pascal's going to be happy if he can hang on there. But Carlos Sainz having a little look at Albon, not going to get that done. But that's bad news for Ferrari. Their tyres, they just dropped off a cliff almost. Do you remember those days when tyres would just fall off a cliff? That's how it felt there with Leclerc and Sainz. It just fell away. And Verstappen was rapid, but he seemed to hang on to those quite nicely. So, yeah, Russell's going to box. He's got 15 seconds over his teammate. Hulkenberg in 3rd. Imagine if he stays there. The scenes. He's 3rd at the minute, 7 seconds back. Perez only 8/10 off, but Russell really over his rivals has got a bit of time here to take it easy. No rush at all. Bottas could use a red flag, says Jake. Yeah, a red flag for Bottas and Hulkenberg would be perfect here, wouldn't it? Colapinto as well up in 8th place from the pit lane. In fact, it's Colapinto that Verstappen got out in front of, not Albon. Sainz and Leclerc challenging Colapinto and just getting through there, Carlos Sainz. And Norris is right in the back of Leclerc here. This is a really fascinating race. In comes George Russell then to the pit lane. I think they've repainted some lines this weekend, haven't they? So, or he will be into the pit lane. Where is he? He is in the pits. We're watching Hamilton, that's why. Oh, good. That's frozen. There we go. The track map playing up there. We might have to refresh everything. We'll see how we go. But yeah, big train of cars there. That's freezing the... Let me... sorry, I'll redo the track map. It plays up a little bit, so... And I'll get it back on for you, and we'll resize it, and it might just refresh a bit. It sometimes does this. When I'm watching the race myself, it does this sometimes. So a lot of stuff going on and a lot of data. So maybe some issues there. There we go. We've got is that Stroll in the pits? It's the tyres. What's going on at Aston Martin here? It was is that Fernando Alonso? Oh, there we go. Fernando Alonso stopped earlier. They didn't have the tyres ready for him, which is interesting. We've got now the two Ferraris on the back of the Haas of Hulkenberg. Just a bit clearer now of Norris. Still pretty close there. Make that track a bit bigger for you, for those asking. There we go. Yeah, apologies. Like I said, sometimes it lags a little bit when it's I'm watching live, so I don't know if it's streaming and all of that, but there we go. Race day. There's a lot of race data going on in front of me at the minute, so that's maybe why. But here we go. That is the Sainz passed and Leclerc passed Hulkenberg. Magnussen, sorry. Ignore me. 2 seconds stop. Yes, it was broken area. It was a good stop for Max Verstappen, that. Hamilton's in the pits as well. 2.7 seconds. Where's he going to rejoin? So running order is Russell, Perez, Hulkenberg. But really, that's not the case. I need to refresh all the live timings. Sorry about this. Bear with me a sec. Give it a refresh. There we go. Should be okay. So Russell, Perez, Hulkenberg is your top three. Perez and Hulkenberg yet to stop. Verstappen is fourth with Sainz fifth, Leclerc sixth, Hamilton seventh, Magnussen eighth, Norris ninth, and Bottas in 10th. Yet to stop. Perez and Hulkenberg, like I say. Magnussen yet to stop. Bottas, Colapinto also yet to stop. Ocon has pitted twice. Norris hit. Oh, that was a not risky move, but a ballsy move through there for Lando Norris. He gets through into just confirm something here. Max Verstappen will be champion, by the way, if it stays like this. No surprise. I think that track map is a long way behind where we are, so let me try and sort that out for you. I'll do my best. I may have to close it all and start again, but stick with me here. I'll try. I will try. So Russell at the moment is, according to this quiz, returned 12 and 13. So, yes. Technical issues. It's the wonder of technology. It happens sometimes. There we go. Trying to keep an eye on things as Hamilton has to go here at the Haas of Kevin Magnussen and does go through. Timing is definitely slightly delayed here for one reason or another. So Hamilton slips past Magnussen. You have to bear with me a bit here. I'll try and I might even close everything and start again. We'll see how we go. What's with this tyre deck? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was not really the big talking point, was it, going to this weekend? We weren't expecting all of this. I think your timing's okay. It's my timing that's wrong, but it's okay. It would have dropped another 5 places if we'd have hung around any longer. Hamilton told the race he wanted to stay out longer. Hulkenberg is finally in the pit lane then for Haas. 2.6 second stop for him. He drops down to 16th place. Lando Norris currently has the fastest lap. He's going to need more than that, I'm afraid. Down in 6th place. Track map's okay, is it? That's okay then. I think it's my timing that's slightly wrong. The stream timing looks to be behind as well, so we'll do a quick refresh on that too. First time I've had any problems with this we've done quite a few streams this year, haven't we? And it's the first time I've had any kind of issue, so I shouldn't really I'm not complaining, but yeah, let's just refresh the page and see if that helps things a little bit. If not, I'm here, we'll talk you through it. It's okay. Perez 8.6 behind Russell at the moment in the top two. Verstappen is third, right behind his teammate. I imagine that swap will happen if needed, although I think Verstappen may well get through. Verstappen, of course, is not going to be beaten today by Norris if it stays like this. Verstappen does slip through on Perez. Perez has yet to stop as well, so bear that in mind. So Gasly's complaining on the radio of an issue. The sensors are telling him there's nothing wrong. Pace is not epic at all at the moment. So he's going backwards. Oh, and that's a problem. That's a power unit blow up for... Is it? Yeah, it is. Smoke from the back of Gasly. And Pierre Gasly, who's had a fantastic weekend to this point, is retiring from the Las Vegas Grand Prix, surely. What a shame for Gasly. What a shame. Oh, dear. Yeah, funny as well. Yeah, he's saying on the radio something's wrong, and then the team are saying everything looks all right, and then we cut to him, and it's bang. It's all gone. So game over for Pierre Gasly. He becomes the first retirement of the 2024 Las Vegas Grand Prix, and there is that hope of points gone for Gasly. We're now watching, we were watching Lawson, I think is it Lawson or Tsunoda? Tsunoda versus Magnussen. Could be fun. Yeah. That's a shame. I'm kind of gutted, actually, for Gasly there. Tsunoda now having to go at Magnussen around the outside. You're not going to get through there, mate. Just... tuck back in, which he does do on the run to turn 12. Will he have a go through there? Possibly not. Track map is really delayed for me, so apologies again on this one. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to refresh literally everything. Let's go again. Track map will return in due course. It might just be a multi-viewer thing, and if it is, there's nothing to do about it, I'm afraid. So apologies in advance is all I can say. Apologies in advance. It's inevitable. I always get something go wrong for me at some stage on a weekend. As through goes an Aston Martin there. Alonso on Albon by the look of it. So what's Lance Stroll doing, by the way, just out of interest? Seems a bit of a way off of things. He's down in 19th at the moment. Hopefully find some speed soon. So I tried to multitask, can you tell? Bear with me a sec. These things happen. There we go. Hopefully, that will be better. I know that the track map might be bang on for you guys because there's a stream delay anyway, but for me, it's really far behind. If it is, then not a lot I can do other than ending the stream, which I'm not going to do. So there we go. Yeah, good point. Yeah, there is a storm around as well, so that could be affecting things a little bit, but this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. If not, we'll just watch it together and we'll just have to have a bit of a delay on the timing. It's fine. I think we've just seen an overtake that I've missed. Pete says, great move. Let me know, Pete, who that was, mate, because I've missed that one. Hulkenberg, lap time deleted. Also lap time deleted for Piastri as well. Turn 8 for both of those. Lap 15 for Hulkenberg, 11 for Piastri, just to let you know. It was a while ago. Here goes Hamilton on Sergio Perez for P5 on the run to turn 14. Yeah, the track map's playing up. There's nothing to do, so soz. Russell did pit. Yes, Russell has pitted, and he's pretty comfortable out front at the moment. Pitted about 5 laps ago now. So Norris now got past Perez as well. Yeah, Perez is pitting now. Hamilton has fastest lap. Shouldn't need to keep an eye on that too much unless Norris suddenly steams through the field from 6th place, because Verstappen P2, that is more than enough for the title confirmation today. So, yeah. Fresh set of mediums for Perez. The medium... No, this has got to be a 2-stop race, surely. Perez is not taking those mediums all the way to the end from lap 18. I know the fuel load comes down, but not by that much in such a short space of time. I mean, they were pitting at the end of lap 10 to get rid of the mediums earlier, weren't they? So... there's no way that's... watch the replay, Gasly's then you go pop here. There's no way this is a one-stopper, surely. Nick says borderline 3-stop. Oh, car sounds awful. Gasly's car is terrible. Smoke product back. Not quite an old-school blow-up, but a bit more old-school. A lot of damage there as well. So disappointing. I was hoping for big points for Gasly today. Great performance yesterday in qualifying. Hasn't come to anything today. We're just watching Hamilton here catching Leclerc. So this phase has really come to Lewis Hamilton, this hard tyre. Ferrari have not got the pace they had in the early phase of the race. Little tiny look there from Hamilton, not going to get through 14 now. I'll keep an eye on this, then I'll do a quick run through the order and let you know just in case the timing is slightly off. Let me know as soon as possible it's going to be Plan C because it changes everything, says Sainz on the radio. I'm assuming, Plan C could be anything, couldn't it, for Ferrari? Cameron makes an interesting point. 2.5 stop race, some teams may take a chance. That's kind of borderline 3 stops. So do you focus on tyre preservation or do you make the extra stop and have the pace? That's an interesting point. Yeah, good point, actually. Cameron, we'll bear that in mind. So Hamilton have a look at the sites, not to get through... Leclerc, not going to get through for a moment. So running order is, let's catch up now. I've been sorting my technical issues out. George Russell is leading this race, nearly 10 seconds clear of Max Verstappen. Pretty much matched each other on the last lap, though. So Max has got the pace of the leader, but we don't know how much George is nursing those tyres, to be fair. As Alex Albon, a replay here of him getting past Fernando Alonso. Nice move up the inside there. And through he goes for P9. Sainz is third with Leclerc fourth. Ferrari's pace really has fallen away. Hamilton in fifth place, Norris sixth, Tsunoda is in seventh. It's eighth for Piastri, ninth for Albon, 10th for Alonso. The battles in your top 10 are Leclerc versus Hamilton. Norris is just a little bit further back on 1.3 seconds. Piastri's only 1.2 behind Tsunoda. And then we've got Hulkenberg on Alonso, who's 11th. Hulkenberg is 11th. 12th for Zhou, 13th for Lawson, 14th for Perez, 15th for Ocon, 16th for Stroll, 17th for Colapinto, 18th for Magnussen, and 19th for Bottas. Pierre Gasly is the only driver to retire as things stand. Engine failure. I would say engine failure. It was a smoking car, so I would always lean towards engine failure, but it could be other things. But yeah, shame for Gasly that. Again, third time I've said that, but it is a shame. As Hulkenberg slips through into P10 and into the points, obviously passing Fernando Alonso. So opportunity here for Haas and RB to get back ahead of Alpine in the Constructors, who jumped ahead of them, of course, in Brazil. So Hamilton's still on the back of Leclerc here. Well, that's what we're watching at the moment in the battle for fourth. Norris, again, he's in the fight, but he's a little bit back here, and with Verstappen up in second place, just to confirm, if you are just tuning in, that will be title number 4 for Max Verstappen. George says Gasly $0 damage gone. Oh, George. I suppose, but it's not his fault, is it? I guess, but yeah, it is amazing actually thinking about it. Some of the battles he's had this season that he hasn't had some sort of damage, but. Good stuff from him. Good stuff. Just going to watch Hamilton here. Have a go at Leclerc as we come onto the strip. We appear to have caught up on everything. So here we go. Here goes Hamilton then. DRS will fly open shortly after turn 13. It's not all the way down the strip, but they'll come through turn 13, through the detection point. Hamilton will get that DRS wide open. He's on the back of Charles Leclerc now, but he's not going to get through. That Ferrari, pretty good in a straight line, actually, to be fair. Hulkenberg actually on the back of Albon already, by the way, so keep an eye on that one. If you are new here, by the way, please do subscribe. Don't forget to drop a like. Nearly 1,000 of you here, 100 likes. Please do drop a like. If we can get that over 300 again, that would be absolutely amazing, and would do wonders for the channel in the algorithm. And please do subscribe as well. Thank you to is it Lily and Tobias for subscribing. I will do some shout outs during the race. Don't forget, I am live again shortly after the race finishes. I think probably around 9:30 a.m. UK time. And live for the reaction with Stuart to talk all things Las Vegas. Hopefully, we'll be awake for that one, and there's plenty to talk about. But yeah, so yeah, don't forget live again this morning. And by the way, next weekend, I did make the point yesterday very quickly. Next weekend, if you want the sprint watch-alongs, I'll do them, but that'll be sprint quali watch-along on Friday, sprint race watch-along Saturday, qualifying watch-along Saturday afternoon, race watch-along on Sunday, and the race reaction on Sunday afternoon. So I'm just going to go live Friday and stay live forever. I may as well. So yeah, please do subscribe and drop a like on the stream. Really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who's done that already this weekend. It's good to have you with us for this final 3 races of the season. Carlos Sainz on team radio as Hamilton closes in on Leclerc again. So babysit the tyres, he's been told, effectively. Look after them and then avoid graining. Hamilton, again, that Ferrari pretty good in a straight line here today. Hamilton still has fastest lap, but as it stands, I think Verstappen 70-odd points clearing the championship with 60 available. So that's done. I mean, look, again, I made the point earlier, even if he doesn't finish ahead of Norris today, he's still going to be champion. If he does it today, we can focus on the constructors and stop trying to push a fight that never actually really existed. Perez down in 14th, behind Liam Lawson, 3.7 seconds, and Tsunoda's up in 7th place. Red Bull won't be listening to this, and I don't blame them. But if they are, just take note of the running order right now, and maybe your answer's there for who needs to partner Max Verstappen next year. And I say that as someone who really likes Checo, and I'm kind of gutted that he's fallen as far as he has this season after such a strong start. But there you go. It happens, doesn't it? Joe says we'll take all the F1 World Watch-alongs we can get. There you go. You're getting them next weekend, that's for sure. Plenty of them. Can't wait for that. Going to be a lot of fun. They're sort of late afternoon times in the UK, aren't they? Or early evening next weekend for Qatar. So could be good. Where are the battles then? So we are watching Hamilton half a second behind Leclerc. He's going to get a good run here as they come onto the strip. So he's going to get DRS. So this could be his moment into turn 14. But other than that, we've got Hulkenberg on the back of Albon. Stroll maybe on Ocon. And Bottas on Magnussen down in 18th and 19th. So we've got some gaps between drivers now. 10 seconds to lead out front for George Russell. But again, Hamilton just doesn't have enough pace. Was this DRS open there? Watch that next time. The front right looks like it's about to go any lap, says Norris. So he's struggling already. So this is at least a 2-stop race. At least. As Lewis Hamilton sets another fastest lap in P5. Yeah, so at least a 2-stopper here. I think we're already sort of leaning towards 2.53, aren't we? We'll see. You will need a lot of filler content for Qatar, let's be real, says George. Last year was good, but at least this year it will be cooler. 20, 25 degrees, I think, is forecast, so we won't have that silly mandatory stint length. These guys are fast on the straight, says Hamilton, referring to Ferrari, so must have had DRS open then. Yeah. That sphere, I love that sphere so much. It's just adverts, I know, but I just, yeah. I'd take one of them in Lincoln. It would take up most of the city. It's not a massive city, but, you know, why not? Why not? The glare. So who has yet to start? Everyone's pitted. Ocon has pitted twice, hasn't he? The timing's saying he's pitted twice. He surely has done, if it's saying he has. So I'm going to try not to interfere with the track map while I do it. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm just not touch anything. It's working at the moment. So that is the battle really we're watching at the moment. It is Hamilton versus Leclerc for 4th and 5th. Russell 9.9 clear of Verstappen at the moment. Norris is... Where is Norris? Norris has dropped back quite a bit from Hamilton here. 5.4. He was 1.8 behind only a couple of laps ago. So 38.4 for Norris last lap, a 37 flat for Hamilton, 37.1 for Leclerc. So the pace isn't there. Maybe nursing that tyre a little bit, try and stretch it to a 2 rather than a 3 stop. But it's not looking good if you're a Lando Norris fan regarding the title. It wasn't anyway, but you know it's really not now. But Joe up in 12th place here. And as I say that, he slides nicely up the inside of Fernando Alonso for P11 at turn 14. Zhou Guanyu has pitted. Pascal will kill me if I jinx him. He could legitimately be in with a shot at a point here today, Zhou. He's 4.5 behind Albon. He's just slipped past Alonso for P11. He has pitted, so he's not out of position. This is, yeah. Has Russell pitted for tyres? Yes, he has. Gizmo. He has pitted for tyres. Pitted 12 laps ago. He's on the hards. So, yeah. All good. Everyone's pitted apart from Ocon, who's pitted twice according to the timing. So, there we go. Hamilton cannot get past Leclerc at the moment. I want to see... I wouldn't mind Hamilton's on board, actually, just to see how quick that Ferrari is in a straight line. Does he pull away? Here we go. DRS is open. Yeah, no issues with DRS. So it's just great straight line speed from that Ferrari. Is Hamilton just going to have to send it? He's having a look, but he's not going to get through there. I don't get too excited by Crofty. Or like Crofty. He does that a lot, doesn't he? Kind of like, oh, and he goes for it. It's like he's 10 car lengths back, Crofty. Chill out. Tsunoda 1.1 clear of Piastri. That's going to come down a little bit. Piastri is quick here and catching Tsunoda. Piastri 138.8. Tsunoda 138.9. So Tsunoda's pace is good, but Piastri just quicker and closing in. Perez is now right in the back of Liam Lawson. This could get tasty as they run down to turn 14. Perez has got DRS wide open. Does he send it on Lawson? Lawson doesn't go too defensive this time. And through goes Perez to take a sensational P13 from Lawson in the RB. Come on, Checo. Oh, dear. Let's see what you guys said in chat then. I'll try not to read your conversations, though, because I tend to get things out of context and I get confused. Pascal says, come on, Joe. Yes, let's all hope for us. I'd love a Sauber point. I don't like seeing a team with no points. Again, I said it yesterday, has happened plenty of times in F1, but we want to see teams scoring points. So it'd be good to see Sauber get off the mark, even if it's just 1 point and that's all they get. It's been over a year since they scored, hasn't it, Pascal? I think it's been over a year now since they scored any points. So Leclerc just starting to close in on Sainz a little bit. 7/10 on the last lap. So we're about to get a three-way fight for that final podium spot. Verstappen 2.6 clear of Sainz. 3/10 quicker on the last lap. So Verstappen isn't comfortable in second, but he's not under huge threat at the moment. Alinka is praying for the Ferraris. George says, bring back James Allen. What, for this stream or to replace Crofty, George? Because that's rude. But I agree. I like James Allen as a commentator. What's Albon saying quickly? He's been told to retire the car. So Alex Albon in. Well, that's going to put Joe 10th. Pascal's just fainted. I heard Pascal faint from here. That's going to put Joe into the points. But Perez, bad news, is starting to find some pace here. Piastri pits from P8. So it could stop from here. I'd love to sit down with James Allen and have a chat. We talk about bias in the media. We talk about bias in commentary. Hungary, Jenson Button, James Allen. There's your bias. You're just salty, Max, because I told you off about your comments about the director, that's all. So Albon is in the pits to retire to become our second retiree of the day. Piastri rejoins behind Colapinto. So not ideal there. Hashtag not ideal. But Albon is going to pit to retire the car. That's a shame. That is a shame. Ocon up to 12th. Lawson 11th. Perez into 10th. Joe now 9th. Because of some people pitting, of course, there. Let's get off these tyres, says Sainz. So what plan are we on Ferrari? Leclerc is right on his teammate here and has dropped Hamilton a little bit. Not quite. And they're just going to swap positions. Leclerc having a look. Sainz not wanting to give him that one. I don't think you need to pull out there, Charlotte. That's probably cost you a bit of time now. But yeah, I did wonder if they're going to swap places there. But I'm assuming we're going to see, as they run over a plastic bag, which will be, I hope that's not caught in a radiator anywhere. Sainz continues on. But Leclerc is rapid. Verstappen told to box, so he'll be in this lap. Oh, we are on lap 27, by the way. We are over halfway. And Leclerc wide through turn 2 there. So that's put Hamilton right back on his rear wing. This is my frustration with Ferrari sometimes as a Ferrari fan. That bloody sphere, I can't help it. Sainz is clearly struggling on his tyres. Leclerc is clearly quicker. Hamilton's a threat. Sainz could have eased Leclerc through there, through P4, through turn 14, to let Leclerc disappear and give themselves the best chance of the best result they could possibly get. Sainz is saying, box me, guys. He wants off these tyres. These tyres are not hanging on. We said pre-race and all the talk was graining was the issue. We weren't worried about wear. These tyres are not hanging on. Norris is concerned about the right front opening up. We've got Sainz screaming to come off the tyres. Screaming's maybe a bit much, as Colapinto pits and drops down to 18th place. This is really, really interesting. This is quite a surprise, actually, on the tyres. It is, bearing in mind as well, it is actually much warmer than it was yesterday. I mean, it is only 17.2 degrees, but it is much warmer than we've seen this weekend. So here we go. Surely Ferrari just let Sainz just needs to ease it through. Is Hamilton going to have a look as well? Sainz needs to close that door, and does indeed. That's what he needed to do, and keep Hamilton behind as long as possible to give Leclerc and the team the best chance at the best result they can get. And Sainz does pit. That's what he wants to do. And Hamilton follows him in as well. So we've got a pit stop race here. And Hamilton, no. What happened there? And that looked like a slow stop. Was it a slow stop for Verstappen? 3.4 seconds for Verstappen. Hamilton. Sainz was in the pit lane there, wasn't he? In the pit entry. That's interesting. We might have to see a replay of that, because if he's crossed the line, that could be a penalty. 2.6 second stop for Hamilton. Yeah, he definitely cut across that. That could be a penalty then. We'll have a look at the replay, I'm sure. That was an interesting one. But yeah, Verstappen pitted slightly slow stop at 3.4. Maybe corrected a slide. Yeah, good point. Could have maybe lost the car on the way into the pits if he's struggling with his tyres. That was really strange. So Russell, Leclerc, Sainz is your top three. Norris up to fourth, Verstappen fifth. Verstappen, Hamilton, we know of Ocon, Piastri, Alonso and Colapinto have all made their second of at least 2 stops. I think we're going to a 3-stopper here. And every time I see that V-carb livery, all I think is late 90s, early 2000s Sauber, and that's Verstappen cutting the corner there at turn 7, so maybe that's why it looks slow and we cut there. Perez has got past Zhou Guanyu. We're going to see a replay of that now. I'm assuming down to turn 14 through the DRS. Yes, it was well before turn 14, and he slips through there nicely into... so here we go. So Sainz did pit... No, that's a penalty all day long. That's a penalty for Sainz. Why do that, though? I don't, if you're at that point, just bring the driver. I know they like to do the whole stay out or do the opposite, but surely, if your driver's already on pit entry, they said, what happened? And then the team said, we're not ready, to which Sainz says, wake up, guys, come on. Hashtag Ferrari things. The pain of being a Ferrari fan. If you're a Ferrari fan, just tell me in chat how depressing it is sometimes. Just let everyone know who isn't a Ferrari fan. Goodness me. So what's happened there is Sainz is coming to the pit lane. The team have obviously told him he wasn't ready in time to stay out, so he's cut across the pit entry. In that situation, because he's going to get a penalty now, surely just bring him in and get the tyres ready. And if the stoppage ends up being 6 or 7 seconds, you're not really going to lose anything. That could be a 10-second penalty. So that's naughty, really. But I don't. Well, I do a bit blame Sainz for that, in the sense that he could have been on the radio to the team saying, look, I have to come in. I'm already in the pit entry, but. He's driving at high speed, and the team needs to be doing better with that. That's bad. That's going to cost them now, because that leaves Leclerc exposed to Verstappen, I guess, although Verstappen was ahead on track. Hamilton as well, and it's going to put Sainz out the running. That could be huge for the constructors. So that just really typical. Yeah. I think, to be fair, Pete, I think blame Sainz was the wrong phrase there for me to use. What I mean is he could have been on the radio going, too late, I'm in the pit entry, get the tyres ready. But at the same time, I suppose you've got to do what your team say. If they say stay out, then yeah, stay out. I think blame was the wrong word there for me, but it is. I have been up since 3:30, so. Did Sainz make the call himself to come in? He just said box me now. Maybe they didn't confirm. Maybe. So Verstappen, just Martin Brundle there saying on the radio that Hamilton's using his grip, pushing hard. So maybe this is an opportunity for him. Verstappen doesn't need to do anything crazy here, does he, really? Tsunoda pits, by the way. He can let Hamilton go if he won't want to. He'll want to stay ahead of him, but he can do and not have to worry too much. It's about the championship today for Max. A bit of a surprise in some ways of Red Bull's race pace. But I suppose, as I said yesterday, they have had a tendency to sacrifice a bit in quali, haven't they, of late, certainly over the last year or so, and focus on the race. So maybe that's what's happened here. But I thought Verstappen might struggle to get through to a podium, but he's got a shot at a podium today. So yeah, if sorry, Ocon said he's been hit. By Lawson, sorry. I was looking at the radio there. But no, what I was going to say, yeah, if Sainz has pitted without the call from the team, and then they've told him to stay out and he's cut that, then that's all on him. So we can say blame then, can't we? But we've not got all the info at the moment. So, yeah, he wants to just listen to your driver. If he's screaming to get off the tyres, get him off the tyres. But I know teams have all the data and drivers are in the moment, but he knows his car. Norris is in the pits. Tsunoda rejoined, by the way, in 30. Tsunoda's on for some good points today if he keeps it tidy from here. And all goes to plan without a safety car. But up into third place goes Verstappen as Norris pits. Another fastest lap for Hamilton. Hamilton now right in the back of Verstappen, 8 tenths behind. So this is going to be a good fun scrap. Feels like a while since a Hamilton Verstappen scrap, doesn't it? Is it Sean, or Sean? It's Sean. Raven. Sean. Don't ask. I think I've told the story before. Went to a coffee shop a couple of years ago. The one that's on every corner. Barstucks. And not sponsored. They want to sponsor me, go for it. And they were like, "Oh, why is it Sean? Sean? Why is that pronounced Sean? Or surely then, Sean Bean is either Sean Bourne or Sean Bean." And it's like, it's because we're English. We took the name from the Irish and we dropped all the accents from it, and we're just lazy. It's what we do. Sean Bourne. Leclerc told to box, and here goes Hamilton now. Max Verstappen. Will Verstappen go defensive? Not really. I don't think he needs to. He just needs to keep it clean today. He'll want to be on the podium to celebrate him winning the title. Of course he will. But if he's 5th today and Norris is 6th, or if he's 8th and Norris is 9th, that's all he needs to worry about, really. So, and Sainz is behind him, probably going to get a penalty as well. So, Leclerc will drop back into behind Verstappen too here, won't he? Now that he's pitted. Here goes Leclerc then. He's going to drop behind Hamilton and behind Verstappen as well. 36.4 for Hamilton. He's pushing hard here, but he is 30... he's 32.6 behind Russell. Russell does still need to make a second stop, but let me just make the point again. George Russell is still out there. He is out front. He is absolutely cruising today. Having said that, he was 1.4 seconds slower than his teammate on the last lap, so that gap will come down, but obviously Russell has yet to make a second stop. Max just been told on the radio, don't lose sight of our aim today. He said, yeah, I'm doing my race. So they know what they're doing, Red Bull. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. Sainz got past Leclerc, by the way, as well. So Leclerc is down to 5th place. So let's have a look for the battles then. This is what we do now. This is what I say about picking your battles in F1. And then we'll read. George says Russell underweight again. Can you imagine? Yeah. Let's have a look then where the battles are. I've said before about picking your battles in F1. Constructors, by the way, that will put Ferrari at the moment 22 points off McLaren. If that's right. Or no, 7 points off McLaren, surely. Anyway, we'll find out at the end of the race, won't we? They're going to close in, that's for sure, and that's going to spice things up quite nicely. Because Norris is only 7th and Piastri 10th, so it's a big game. But Russell has pitted for his second stop onto the hard tyres, I assume, to the end. I can't quite see him from there. Piastri chasing down Zhou here is still P9. Zhou Guanyu's got a shot here at points. Where is Hamilton? He's just crossed the start-finish line, and Russell's already through turn 4. So Russell nice and comfortable here. And there goes Piastri blasting past Zhou Guanyu. Right, Zhou Guanyu, that's who we're going to watch now for a bit. 10th place. He is 1.4 clear of Ocon. I thought there was a lock up there, but no. Ocon, not quicker, 140.2 versus a 139.6. So Zhou is about 6 tenths quicker at the moment than Ocon. So it's not over, but Lawson behind is quite quick as well. And Tsunoda's absolutely flying behind them. So it might be a big ask for Zhou today. I don't know what the timing's doing. Perez has pitted for the second time. He'll drop through the field now. So he's run the hards, the mediums, now back on the hards. He will take those to the end with 17 laps to go. A Haas in front of a McLaren. Imagine that, says Linker. Hulkenberg 6th. So the running order is on lap 33. Russell 11.3 seconds clear of Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen 2 seconds further back in 3rd place, with Sainz 3.5 behind Verstappen in 4th. Leclerc is 5th, 1.9 seconds behind his teammate, with Hulkenberg only 5.4 behind the Ferraris, although he has made one stop less than they have, or fewer. It's early. 7th place for Norris, 4.8 behind Hulkenberg, and did a personal best on the last lap of 1:37.649. Piastri's up to 8th, 1:38.495, with Joe in 9th place, 1.3 seconds back on Piastri. Ocon 1.3 behind Joe in the final points pair position in 10th. Then we've got the two RBs, Lawson ahead of his teammates, 6/10 behind Ocon, 1.7 clear of Tsunoda, but Lawson's pitted once and Tsunoda's pitted twice. Alonso is still 13th despite his woes today, 3.3 behind Tsunoda and a personal best on the last lap as well. Kevin Magnussen 14th, Sergio Perez in 15th, Perez 2.7 behind Magnussen, but again Magnussen only pitted the once to the twice of those cars around him. Colapinto 16th, 2 stops for him, 3.5 behind Perez. Into the pits comes Nico Hulkenberg. Bottas is 17th, 2.6 behind Colapinto, and 18th for Stroll, 4.1 behind Bottas. Hulkenberg's going to drop back through the field now a little bit from his pit stop, so there we go. How long is the pit stop? Not the stop time, by the way. So last year it was between around 21 to 23 seconds, I think, was the largely between that sort of window. It's been about 21, 22 seconds today, so that's overall. So Russell 10.3 clear of Hamilton. I'd argue safety car window as well there he's got covered. So Russell's in control here. I feel like the only thing that can lose Russell the race here is Russell, which can happen, of course. We saw in Singapore last year, didn't we? Just the final lap, chasing down for a decent finish, or I think it was second place, wasn't he, and hit the wall. So it can happen, but I think he's in control, is the way I'd word that one. I can smell their struggle because Max could end the race today if he wins, says a FIFA. So I can't, yeah. Bear with me. Yinka says Hamilton just gained 3 seconds on George Russell, didn't he? Yeah, 36.6 plays 37.6. Yeah, a second quicker on that lap, but maybe just tyre warm up for Russell. Could be that one. Did Sainz get a penalty? No word yet, AJ, but I surely he must have done. He's not even been noted for it, I don't think. He's surely been noted. Hang on, let me check. Where is the feed? No, he's not even been noted for it, so I'm surprised we've not seen more on that, actually, at the moment. Yeah, Lando did DNF in Vegas last year, yeah. Quite a big shunt, actually. Quite a strange one, wasn't it, in the end? So, yeah. Zhou has pitted for the second time and is now 16th, so I forgot he hadn't pitted again, so apologies there, Pascal. I got excited for you, thinking he was going to do it. But he's got out in front of Bottas, and actually, to be fair to Joe, in a nice bit of clear air there on some fresh tyres, got a bit of a gap to Colapinto, so if he can deliver some laps here, Magnussen will need to pit again, Lawson will need to pit again. I'd be surprised if we don't see others in as well. Let's just see this through, what we've got here. Tsunoda on Ocon. As they come onto the strip after turn 12. Hamilton fastest lap of the race, 36.3 for him, 37.2 for Russell. Hamilton is rapid here. Hope he's not taking too much out of his tyres. A fight for the lead between the two Mercedes could be fun. And this is Tsunoda having a go at Ocon now for P8, and through he goes nicely. Big move that if things stay as they are in the constructors. So keep an eye on that one. 1,300 of you here. Please do drop a like if you are new. We're about halfway to that 300 target. So if we could do that ASAP, that would be epic and great for the algorithm. Thank you very much for joining us. On that note, RB would move ahead of Haas now, and 2 behind Alpine in the constructors, by the way. So yeah, please do drop a like. 154 likes, 1,300 of you here. Let's double that if we can in the next, half hour or so. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, and thank you as well to there's quite a few here, to Tobias, to Diamal, half watching here as Lawson and Hulkenberg battle. Dawson to, I'm gonna say 3MR1. I don't want to say, I can't work that one out. MFTB Sports as well. Thank you to Joe, to Yatish, to Moulton, to David, and to $sign money bags, and to Henny as well for subscribing. If I've butchered your names, I do apologise, but you know who you are. Thank you very much for subbing. Please do drop us a sub as well as a like. Don't forget, live about 9:30 UK time, so 2.5 hours from now with the race reaction with Stuart, and then of course live pretty much all bloody weekend, next weekend preview as well on Thursday. So yes, make sure you sub and drop a like as well. Thank you very much for your support this weekend. Turn 3 incident involving Lawson Ocon reviewed. No further investigation causing a collision. So that's where the contact was. We're now watching Hulkenberg. He has dispatched Lawson and is now going to get rid of Ocon as well and move into P9 for Hulkenberg. Big points there again. 38.0 on the last lap for Hulkenberg. 39.6 for Ocon. Lawson's on a 39.0. He needs to... pit, I think, struggling now. That's what a gaggle of cars that is. Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Alonso, Lawson, Magnussen, and then at the back of that is the Red Bull of Sergio Perez, whose teammate is third and 4.5 seconds off Hamilton in second. I mean, come on, Checo, for God's sake. 2 secs, Ted. Just to have a quick sip of my my wonderful drink. It's non-alcoholic, of course. As tempting as an alcoholic drink would be at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Bill says, enjoying Lewis's race. The man is something special. Yeah. Sorry, not Bill, is it? Is it B or by? B or by Cam? You know who you are. Yeah, no, it's a great performance. He's actually closing in on Russell pretty rapidly, actually. Getting on for a second, 8/10 that lap, getting on for a 1.2, sorry, that lap, and getting on for a second lap every lap. It's down to 8 seconds. He's up 8 places, Hamilton. I mean, winning from 10th. Yeah, so as it stands, Max Verstappen would win the championship and he would be 69 points clear of Lando Norris. It will be game over in the standings. Nobody's too surprised at that. What have we got here? Fernando Alonso, don't forget, had a slow first stop as well, is right on the back of Ocon here for P10. If Aston get a point today, I think that'd be one of the surprises of the weekend, to be honest. Down the inside he goes into 10th place. Good move into 14. DRS is quite powerful here, and we've got 3 wide into turn 14. It's Perez, Lawson, and a Haas. I'll not call it just yet. It's Magnussen, and Perez takes them both. That's a good move from Sergio Perez, but that could have been a bit of a disaster. So a big move that for Sergio Perez. 3 wide into 14 is, well, it's ballsy. Let's put it that way. 36.1 from Hamilton. 7/10 quicker on that lap than Russell. So Russell has picked up the pace, but not enough to fend off his teammate. Is Russell looking after his tyres more than Hamilton? We'll find out in the coming laps, of course. But that was a moment. Let's see, replay that, please. Here we go. So Perez, you've got effectively the double toe. So Lawson has got Hulkenberg on the Magnussen on the outside, and then Perez just steams up the inside of both of them. They're not really that close to contact, but that's that's the kind of thing that can go very wrong very quickly, or you look like an absolute legend. And on this occasion, Perez looked like a legend, although it is an RB and a Haas. Magnussen, sorry, didn't almost went off track, but that you're not going to get 3 through there. But that was fun. Jake says, bit reckless, but got to give it to Checo there. Absolutely. Got to take a risk sometimes, haven't you? What's happening between Verstappen and Sainz here? Sainz at the fastest lap, followed by Leclerc on fastest lap. So Ferrari coming good again here. 36.9 for Verstappen, 36.1 for Sainz. Norris 13 seconds behind Leclerc. So even if the Ferraris get through, I think Verstappen should still be good here. But so somebody complaining of poor grip there. I didn't quite catch it from Crofty, so I don't know who that was, but it could be anybody. It's quite cool out there, although not as cool as it has been all weekend. 16.9 now track temperature. Nick says 3 into 1 does go. It does indeed. Zay says, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. I hope you are too. Thank you for asking. I'm all good. All good. Looking forward to the reaction shortly with Stuart. I might have a nap while he's doing that. Leave you with him. Safety car over Verstappen crashed, please, says Kaziu. Yeah. Hamilton Leclerc trading fastest laps. Yep, looking good out there at the moment. There's just some pace, isn't there? Who has got the pace? So Leclerc 36 flat with the fastest lap. Norris on a 36.4. Verstappen says, do you want me to try and keep them behind or what? And GP says, I think you should, yeah. So there you go. So it's Verstappen saying he's got no grip. So maybe just a bit much there for him. Has he got a gap for a pit stop? Not really, has he? No. His pace isn't bad. 36.9. I mean, it's just on a 36.3, which as good as matches a race leader on a 36.2, pretty close there. So it's not like he's losing a lot of time. But then you've got Sainz 0.2 quicker, and Leclerc 0.2 quicker, and actually Norris a tenth quicker as well. So here goes Perez. We've also got Tsunoda fighting with a Haas. We've got Perez about to pass Ocon for 11th. Tsunoda's just got past Hulkenberg for P8, or fended off Hulkenberg for P8. I think Tsunoda was ahead, so it's actually Hulkenberg that's quicker. So your battle's on track, really. Hulkenberg is rapid, by the way. 0.6 quicker on that lap than Tsunoda ahead, so that's where the fight is there for 8th and 9th. Perez is past Ocon and is 5.3 behind Alonso for that final points paying position. So this is an interesting one here. So no grip for Max. He's struggling for grip. Sainz has got Leclerc behind him, 7/10, and then Sainz only a second off Verstappen here. Yeah, I'm just trying to work out things from a maths point of view here in terms of pit stops. So what's Verstappen then? 14, 15 or so seconds ahead of Norris here. So still pretty comfortable with 10 laps to go. But I think if he's going to win the championship today, you kind of want him on the podium, don't we, to celebrate it. But P5 is more than enough for him to do it today with Norris in 6th. So Piastri is quite a way off. He's got 14 seconds behind his teammate and 8 clear, nearly 9 clear of Tsunoda. So he's in a bit of a no man's land at the moment. What have we made of the race then? With sort of 9-10 laps to go, how are you feeling? I don't feel like I think it's been decent. I don't think it's not as good as last year's. I think last year's race surprised a lot of people with how good it was. It wasn't race of the season or anything, but it was a pretty good race. As Hulkenberg and Tsunoda continue to battle down at 14. Hulkenberg trying around the outside. A good race, a bad race. We'll do the poll, of course, in the reaction. But yeah, decent race. I think that's a good one for Nick. That's kind of what I'm getting at. It's not one I'll remember. Although I struggle to remember the race at the end of the year, I always have. But it's not one I'll remember for a long time. But it's been a good race, a decent race. We've had plenty of action, some strategy, intrigue. It looks like 2 stops is going to be the way to go. The championship battle, of course, as well. That was tongue-in-cheek, by the way. So yeah, Jake says consistent action means happy Jake. There you go. Yeah, consistent action is a good one as well. Decent and consistent. And George says cars can follow closely, to be fair. Yeah, that's true. We've seen plenty of close fights, aren't we? And we have throughout the race, but here goes Sainz now, down the inside of Verstappen to take P3. So Sainz on the podium. I don't think Leclerc will be too long before he's passed. I know it's not what people want, but if I'm Verstappen, I'm not fighting too hard against Leclerc. Tuck in and just bring it home and bank the points and take the title. He'll get plenty of it. I think F1 would love the title decided today in Vegas as well. But yeah. Gasly, his engine went pop. Florian, he retired with an engine problem, smoke pouring out the back of it, and Albon retired with a mechanical problem as well. We don't know what that was though at the moment, so we'll get to that in the race reaction. But yes, that's why those two are out of that one. So Verstappen drops behind Sainz. If he drops behind Leclerc, he's still going to be 13 seconds up the road. So Norris 35.9, Verstappen 37.5. Although, you know, Leclerc nearly lost the back end of the car there. Yeah, I'm just trying to work out. Norris might be able to come back at him here, but not many laps to go. We've got, 8 or 9 to go now. So Hamilton's still flying. He's 5.6 behind his teammate, 5.5 behind his teammate. Last lap, Russell a 36.5, Hamilton a 35.4. At that pace, he will be on the back of Russell with 3 or 4 laps to go. So, you know, this may not be over. No, Albon didn't crash. He had a mechanical problem. Was told to retire the car. So that's why he's out of the race. So, deep breath. Lap 43 of 50. Russell leads 5.4 clear of Hamilton, who's rapidly closing in, with Sainz now in third place, 7 tenths clear of Verstappen. Leclerc 6 tenths further back in fifth. Norris is sixth, 11.8 back, with Piastri in seventh, 25 seconds behind his teammate and 44 off the lead. Tsunoda is in eighth place, 10 seconds behind Piastri, with Hulkenberg just 8 tenths back in ninth. And Alonso is 6 tenths behind in 10th place, and 37th place. Perez in 11th, 36.5. So Perez is closing in there, 2.6 a gap. In the Constructors' Championship, McLaren pick up 14, Ferrari 25. So that gap is coming down. So that's going to, I think we've got a fight in that one, definitely. Magnussen 12th, Colapinto 13th, and Ocon 14th, with Zhou in 15th, Stroll 16th, Lawson 17th, and Bottas in 18th place. My hopes of Zhou getting a point are gone, aren't they, realistically, unless something happens. But yeah. So 8 tenths. I mean, look, the good thing here for Verstappen is he's got DRS on Sainz. So that's going to help him out here. But just to make the point, Sainz on the last lap of 36.2, Verstappen at 36.4, Leclerc at 36.8, Norris at 35.6. So he is much quicker than those ahead. It might be too little too late. But we've seen that a lot this year, haven't we? McLaren kind of, their pace is okay, or maybe they drop a bit and they lose time to those ahead, but then sort of towards the end of the race they seem to find the speed, so maybe better on their tyres over the course of a race. But Norris is closing in and quite quickly. In fact, purple first sector. If you can hear that rumbling, that's my stomach, 'cause I haven't had breakfast yet. So what witchcraft does Alonso do to always end up 10th in that dustbin of a car? Very good point, Yinka. Also, not a great weekend, is it? So yeah. Does the Sainz have a 10-second penalty? I don't think so. No, he's not had a penalty yet, has he, as Sainz? I think we'd have heard that by now. But no, it's I don't even think it was investigated. Piastri had a 5-second penalty for a false start, is all I've got on the feed at the moment. And he's already served that, so... Oh yeah, no, sorry, Pete. I don't think Norris is going to close in, but I'm just saying that, you know, he is quick and he is closing in. So if something happens, what I mean by that is if Sainz, Verstappen and Leclerc start squabbling amongst themselves, that gap can come down very quickly, can't it? If he's quick anyway. So Hamilton, yeah, that's so 35.8 on the last lap and a 35.9. So that's kind of Russell, his personal best. Maybe putting pay to that fight now, sort of just sending that message out. So maybe that's not going to happen, as not from 63rd is pointing out. So he can catch him. There is still time at the pace he was demonstrating earlier, but obviously don't forget he will have taken a lot out of those tyres. So was that George Russell on that advert there? That Marriott advert? That looked cheesy as hell. But then I find George Russell quite cheesy anyway. Not in a horrible way. Verstappen is now out of DRS from sight, so I think Leclerc is probably going to be pretty swiftly past him here, but he's still got that 10-second plus cushion back to Norris as Verstappen, so that is still enough for the title. Verstappen's been running sort of second, third for much of this race. If he ends up fifth where he started, that does not tell the full story of his Grand Prix, does it, at all, at a glance? So what a drive. Hamilton currently leading the Driver of the Day poll, by the way, which I'm not surprised at all. 10th to second and still rapid as there goes Hulkenberg finally past Tsunoda into P8. Tsunoda down to 9th, obviously. Alonso still 10th, half a second clear of Fernando Alonso. Your battles as we go into the final 5 or 6 laps now. Lap 45 of 50. Hamilton closing on Russell, but not by enough at the moment. Although purple middle sector might change that. We'll keep an eye on that one. Sainz is a second clear of Verstappen. Leclerc is 6th back, so that's your battle there for the final podium spots. The McLaren seem to have settled in there. Tsunoda's still on the back of Hulkenberg, so that's a fight. And of course, we've got Alonso not far back, and then Perez there. And if you're interested, and the timing's gone waffy, Leclerc is not P3. There we go. That threw me off there. And if you're interested, Colapinto is 8 tenths off Magnussen for P12. So Bottas is last at the moment. But good drive from Zhou today, by the way, in 14th. Not the point I was hoping for him. George told to pick up the pace, so maybe he was just nursing tyres a bit. 5 laps to go. Here we go. Just taking a moment to take it all in. Real shame Hamilton screwed up quali. Could have been a great fight for P1, says Nick. Yeah, good point. Max just needs to be ahead of Norris for the World Championship, right, says Pookie. Yep, 100%. That's all he needs to do. Fifth today with Norris sixth is enough for the title. Sean, you getting a quick nap before post-stream or seeing it through? I'll see it through, George. I'm going to go... I'll finish this. Then I'm going to get the tables and everything done for the reaction stream and get the slides and the photos done, check Stuart's awake, and then what I'll do is I'll watch some highlights back and just make some quick notes. So I've got some notes for that one. So about 2 hours after the race finishes. So I think that's going to be about 9:30 a.m. like I say. So 2 hours ish from now is where we're going for. So I mean, I might fall asleep while I'm getting the stream ready. So if I'm not live at 9:30, somebody check in. I'm not complaining, by the way, about the early starts. I like the early starts. I like the late races. But I have been up since 3:30, like I say. So I'm a bit sort of... I feel like it's getting on for the afternoon. It's not. It's still quite early. Crazy early. Here we go then. Perez passing Alonso for that final point. Watching a replay of that one now. I've said it before. I do like the introduction of picture-in-picture. We get to see things going on. Here goes Leclerc, surely on Verstappen. He's very close. It's turn 14. He sent it late, a little bit like he did on Perez last year. Not quite as dramatic, though, and takes fourth place. Now, what can he do about his teammate? Will they allow him to fight with his teammate? These are big points for Ferrari. Also, go back to what Helmut Marko said on Friday, by the way. He did say a Mercedes 1-2 would be good. It was a bit tongue-in-cheek. He's thinking of the championship. It looks like it's about to come true. So Mercedes, Ferrari and Ferrari. This would leave Verstappen 64 points clear of Lando Norris with 60 points available. That is enough for the title. He just needs to bring it home now. No silly stuff. Tyres is all I can think. I'm trying to think of what it could be for Verstappen. Maybe not fighting too hard because of the championship, but also tyres. He was talking about a lack of grip earlier, wasn't he? So maybe that's part of it. But the Red Bull also isn't... I mean, they've had better race pace today than I was expecting. But it's not the fastest car this weekend. Mercedes and Ferrari have been, I think, clear. I think this result kind of is representative of the weekend. Hamilton and Russell just swapped place on the timing screen. I thought something happened to Russell then. But it's okay. So the gap to be wary of here. Can Leclerc get Sainz? 1.6 seconds? Probably not. I can't see Hamilton doing it now with a couple of laps to go unless Russell sticks it in the wall. And Norris is 9.9 behind Verstappen. So this is it, I think. We're going to have to celebrate across the line, George Russell. But obviously the big talk is going to be what's happening behind today. So 2 seconds while I just have a quick drink before we get ready for these final couple of laps. Sorry about that. Just had to take a moment there. There's a lot of talking on these streams. 1,800 of you here. Please do drop a like. We're 102 away from that 300 target. That'd be great if we could hit that today. So please do drop a like. And don't forget to subscribe if you are new as well. We're live in 2 hours with the race reaction. Then live again Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Next, I think 5 streams across 3 days. So please do subscribe and drop a like. Really appreciate it. Thank you to Henny and to David as well for subscribing. If I've missed your sub today, I do apologise. But just to say, big shout out to anyone who has hit that subscribe button and the like as well. Appreciate the support. 2 laps-ish. To get 90 likes. Let's do it. I have faith in you all. You did it yesterday. You can smash it today. Ocon has pitted for a fresh set of softs, by the way. So keep an eye on Esteban as Hamilton now drops 6.5 behind Russell. So 37.0, 36.3. So Hamilton now maybe tyres going off a little bit now, but George might have picked up the pace as well. So yes. Oh, deep breath for the final couple of laps now. This is Russell coming to complete 48, and then we've got 49 and 50 to go. That is 2 laps, so I can work that one out today. Yeah. I'm going to watch Ocon now. We're going to have to watch Ocon. He is 17th. He's on the soft tyre. Will he go straight for it? He's got some clear air. He has just been lapped by Russell, so he might have time here to get his lap in before Lewis Hamilton. Sylvester Stallone is going to wave the checkered flag. There you go. How exciting. Do you care? Probably not. Norris is in. So Norris is going to come in and go for fastest lap. But it's irrelevant. Maybe just go for the point to keep it tight. But yeah, no. He has pitted Norris. Yeah, but it's irrelevant. Obviously, well, no, I'm going to stop, Sean. Constructors. It could be massive for the constructors, but for the drivers, it's irrelevant, is the point I'm making. So I'll just confirm that. Yeah. I was talking about the Drivers' Championship, so yeah, just to make that point. Chat will catch up. You'll catch me in a minute. I caught myself saying it, and then I realised what I was saying. I'm not saying it's irrelevant completely, just for the Drivers' Championship. It means nothing. For the Constructors, it is important. So it does go towards the Constructors. Yes. Apologies there. I caught myself saying it. I was like, it's not totally relevant, Sean. I know I missed the word Drivers' Championship, so there you go. So Norris now, I think he should be okay, Verstappen. 28.5 clear of Lando Norris. But this is all about the constructors now with Ferrari 3rd and 4th. It's a big deal for McLaren, so that does matter, of course. Leclerc could take 2nd in the drivers, ? He could do. We'll have a word about that on the reaction if you join us for that one. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. 48 likes to go, by the way. You've got half a lap-ish, just over, to do it before the checkered flag. I believe in you. I don't believe in myself, you know. That's depressing, isn't it? Well, happy Sunday. Yeah, please do drop a like. Let's see this through then to the end. George Russell now coming on through turn 10 and into turn 11, of course, then. Surprise, surprise, it's turn 12. I know. I think Killer Jack's excited. Let's not spam the chat, Killer. I know you're excited. It is exciting, but yeah, let's not. Russell then through turn 13. Lawson is just ahead of him, but he's not going to catch him here for lapping him. This has been fantastic from George Russell. What a drive, by the way. He's been pretty much unthreatened all afternoon. He got out in front. He kept the Ferraris behind early on. Leclerc had a go, didn't he, in the first couple of laps, but after that, nothing at all. But George Russell on his way now towards turn 17. It is that lovely little kink to the left, and George Russell wins the Las Vegas Grand Prix for Mercedes. A fantastic drive and a great weekend for the Silver Arrows as well, because Lewis Hamilton crosses the line in P2. It's a 1-2 for Mercedes. They're not going to take the Constructors title, but it's a big one. This is where it matters, though, for the championships. Sainz takes 3rd place, Leclerc 4th, and Max Verstappen is a 4-time Formula One world champion. I had to catch myself there. Max Verstappen, a 4-time champion of the world, as Crofty puts it. So he doesn't have to re-record his bit for the Sky titles. So that's okay. He finishes in P5. Lando Norris is possibly going to get fastest lap. He does indeed on a 1:34.8. He finishes 6th. The championship, the Drivers' Championship is over. That point could be important for the constructors. It's a big day for Ferrari. It's a bad day, really, for McLaren, with Piastri still yet to cross the line. There he goes in 7th place. It'll be 8th place for Nico Hulkenberg. It is 9th for Yuki Tsunoda, but only bloody just with Sergio Perez, who seems to love a race to the line in Vegas. 3/10 back in 10th place. Alonso is going to be 11th. Magnussen will be 12th. It's 13th for Joe. Good drive for him. 14th for Colapinto from the pit lane. 15th for Stroll. 16th it'll be for Lawson. And 17th will be Ocon, with Bottas in 18th place. Albon and Gasly retired. Obviously, George Russell, congratulations to him, but a huge congratulations to Max Verstappen, who is the world champion again. His team radio will be emotion, imagine. 4 in a row. Joins Fangio, Schumacher, Hamilton and Vettel, or Vettel and Hamilton as the only drivers to win 4 championships on the bounce. Will he make it 5 in 25? We'll find out in a year's time, I guess. But yes. If I said 3 in a row, John, that's fine, but we don't need the wrong at the end. I love the internet. I'm pretty sure I said 4, but if I didn't, then you know exactly what I mean. So, yes. Sure. Sorry for being human. But yes, Max Verstappen is the champion. Double world champion. There you go. Let's get it really wrong. Why not? Yeah, it's all done. That is it. But the Constructors is the big one now. It was always the big one. Russell very happy over Team Radio, of course, with the win. I think that's a cracking drive from George Russell today. Really, really great. It's, yeah. I mean... I have just realised what John said now, and it's just it's just dawned on me why you said 3 in a row. I didn't say 3 in a row. It is 4 in a row. I know people hate that it's 4 in a row, and we'll never let that go. Let's not get into it, but it is 4 in a row. He is a 4-time world champion, a worthy 4-time world champion, what could he achieve? He is still like, what, 12? Compared to me anyway. It feels like he's still got years to go yet in Formula One, but look at all these cars together on track. That's quite a cool shot. And it's a flying in formation for the Silver Arrows. What a performance. That's great from George Russell today, by the way. It really is. Verstappen very thankful over the radio there. I nearly got emotional when he went across the line there. I had to stop myself. I nearly went full Murray Walker on Damon Hill there. And I have to stop because I've got a lump in my throat. But it wasn't quite that. Lando Norris gets the fastest lap on a 1:34.876 in the bonus point. Again, irrelevant for the Drivers' Championship, but very important for the Constructors potentially. That could come down to a handful of points. So that could be an important one there for them. But yes, there is your story really. Mercedes 1-2 and Max Verstappen world champion of 2024 for 4 in a row. Should say, Sainz joins them both on the podium, by the way. I imagine we will see Verstappen up on the podium at some stage to celebrate that. In fact, he is coming to the grid as well. It's probably been told to there. So it's done. It is done. Which way will the Constructors go? I've got a feeling McLaren will hang on. But as a Ferrari fan as well, I'm kind of like, yeah, wouldn't mind that. You may want to listen to After Race Radio by Shah. He was unhappy, apparently, says Vashek. So I will check that one afterwards, or I'll try remember to. Just Go and says F1 is dead again. I'm sure that's a little bit tongue-in-cheek because that's how the internet is, isn't it? have a couple of great races and F1's back, and then Verstappen wins the championship or somebody wins comfortably and it's dead again. So but there he is, world champion again. It's not a huge surprise. I start the season after testing, they look comfortable. Really dominant start to the year. He's hung on a little bit, it's got to be said. It was probably closer than he was expecting it to be, and anyone was expecting it to be. But I don't think. Maybe, like I say, maybe a couple of races ago, there was a little bit of, could Norris do it? It is possible. And then after quali in Brazil, it was like, oh, hang on a minute, this could be possible. And then Max Verstappen delivered the drive of his life in Brazil and has delivered what he needed to today. So he can have some fun now for the last few races. I mean, they want the Constructors Red Bull, but unless Perez is going to get his arse into gear, then they're not going to win the Constructors. So Max can't do it on his own from here. Lewis Hamilton there congratulating. What's that? Is that 11 world titles between them? Yeah. Wow. Crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Mad. It's not mad, it's maths. 7 + 4. But, there you go. George Russell, congratulate him as well. But again, great drive from George Russell. That's going to get lost in all of this, by the way. And we'll all forget about George Russell's brilliant drive in Vegas because Max Verstappen won the title. So got to give him the credit he deserves. We kind of made the point yesterday. Somebody asked a question on stream yesterday. Maybe George Russell is just one of those drivers that is never going to get the credit he deserves for things because other things happen around him. Thank you to everyone, by the way, who tuned in. If you are disappearing, thank you for your company today and in the quality watch on yesterday. We'll be live again in 2 hours' time for the race reaction. We're 18 away from 300. Let's drop a couple of likes on there now to get that to 300, or 18 likes would be ideal. And that's going to be brilliant. And I'll stay live for another 5 minutes, just see through this reaction, and then we'll get to the race reaction at 9:30 a.m. GMT. So 2 hours from now. No problem, Richard. Thank you so much for for popping along. Hopefully see you for not Vegas. We're in Vegas for Qatar next week. I might need you for the race. Hopefully it's gonna be a good one. Yeah. Pete's off to sleep. Don't blame you. Don't blame you. Great stuff. Yeah, definitely give him the respect he deserves. Both of them. In fact, all three of them, actually. I think Hamilton drove really well today. I mean, fantastically, 10th to 2nd. And was at one point, we were sort of going, maybe could he win this? But not quite in the end. But, Max has done what he needed to do today. He's got the hat all sorted. They were well prepared for this Red Bull. He's got it done. I don't know what to say, really. What can you say? They're getting in the cars to go to do this thing that they do. Okay. What are we doing? He's getting in a car. Is he off for the winter? Is that it now? Is Max done for the season? He's going to take the rest of the year off, finish early for Christmas. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I know a lot of people now will be like, I don't care now, see you in Australia. But there's still the constructors to go. And that is, it's not great in terms of prestige. And a lot of fans say they don't care. It is massive for the team financials, and it's massive for dictating wind tunnel time as we head into this new era of regulations for 26, starting the cars next year, of course. So it does matter. The constructors really matters, even though people struggle to care about it. So I assume they're going to... Oh, guys, tell me. Where do they go? To that? Is it a hotel? I forgot what it's called. Tell me. You'll tell me, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a cool down car for some reason. I'm not quite sure what's happening here. Lewis Hamilton realised he's got to get in the car with George Russell and Carlos Sainz now. He'll have to go on the other side because they're not going to scooch along. Fud says Premier in. Yeah, they're off to the Premier in. They've gone for the breakfast. I hope they've paid. Why does that tickle me so much? Thank you, Fud. Don't know why that tickled me. It's today actually the day of the second Grand Prix in Las Vegas. There's not a second Grand Prix today, Swifty, but it is the second Las Vegas Grand Prix and the second race at Las Vegas Strip, but it's the fourth in Vegas overall because we had two in Caesars Palace in 81 and 82, I think. They've put the top three in one car and Max in another car. Somebody could have sat in the front, surely. Think of the emissions. No, he's got GP with him. Fair enough. He can sit on the roof. Why not? Yes, so there we go. I kind of want to see what's going to happen here, but I also need to go off and get the stream ready. So, have you missed it, Swifty? Oh, sorry. It's just finished. Literally 6-7 minutes ago, something like that. So, Yeah, sorry, Swifty, if I've spoiled anything there for you. But yeah, there'll be highlights and reruns, I'm sure, later in the day. Do you want to know who won, Swifty? I will tell you if you don't spoil. I can say spoilers, and that's fine. But you have asked the question in chat, so I'll answer it for you. George Russell won from Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz. Max Verstappen finished 5th and Norris is 6th, so Max Verstappen is the world champion confirmed. So thank you as well for helping me reach 300 likes. That's brilliant. I kind of want to watch this with you all just for the reaction, but I also have to get a stream ready, so I might just we'll give it a couple more minutes because this is quite... They did this last year, didn't they? They go off to the Premier Inn, as Fud says. I don't think this has been a poor season. Lots of good races, says Jake. It's not been a poor season at all. I tell you what, this season has been really weird. As Aladdin would say down the local market, how bizarre. It's... Fuck off, Sean. It's too early for that bollocks. I think it's actually... Why am I laughing at my own terrible joke? Stop it. I think this season's been really weird because we said it yesterday. It's kind of like a bit 2009, a bit reverse 2013, and a bit 2003. So I'm kind of... Sorry, Max. I think it's been a really good season. I think the championship has been hyped up more from the media. I've covered what I've needed to and done the title permutations and talked about the possibilities, but I think it's been hyped up more than I think maybe it should have been. But I suppose when you have the season like you do in 2023, even somebody being mathematically in the hunt with a couple, 2 or 3 races to go is going to get people excited. So I kind of get it. But the constructors have been great as well. So I think you look at how many different winners we've had this season. I think it was John T. Levels. It was terrible. Let's have a look actually, because I don't actually remember what the stat was for this season. It's about 1 million different winners. I think it's the most in a long time, if not ever. So let's go do some counting quickly. Early morning counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different winners this season. Is that right? Verstappen, Sainz, Norris, Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton, Piastri. 7 different winners. Doesn't sound exciting, but 2023 we had like 3. So I think it's been a really good season, but weird as well. It's felt really, really weird. By Cam says to Jake, I respect your opinion, but over 30 years of watching F1, it was poor. I've been watching for over 30 years as well, and I will sit here and I will say that it's not been poor. But yes, that's my view. And can I say as well, actually, to Bycap, thank you so much for being respectful and having a different opinion and saying, I respect your opinion, but I disagree, without it turning into some kind of fustercluck like it tends to online. So I appreciate that. Not to sound condescending, but you get a bit fed up of it as a content creator when people can't have a different opinion and you get jumped down. So I appreciate the respect there. So good to see. See? Good people. Good people. You're a great bunch. You're a great bunch. I think we are going to leave it there. I'm going to have to get the stream ready. So, enjoy the podium. I'm going to have to go. Enjoy the podium. I'm going to be back in like 2 hours, less than. So, and we'll do the race reaction. I'll be with Stuart as well, so that should be fun. So thank you so much for joining me in the qualifying watch along yesterday and today as well. That was fun yesterday and fun today, so thank you so much for your company. Thanks for all the likes, for the subs as well. So thank you to Patrick as well for subscribing recently. I just saw a comment I might want to read here. Yeah, true. Very, very true. Kaori, good point. But yeah, see you in a couple of hours. Please do drop a like before you go. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new as well. If you're only here for watch-alongs, don't forget back on Friday. But live again in 2 hours, preview on Thursday, lots of streams next weekend, lots to do between now and the end of the season. We've got a Constructors' Championship to decide. But yeah, I'm going to go. So, as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word, and until 2 hours' time, goodbye.